Welcome! Welcome back to Trails to Custody 2. This is part 12. Last time we finished getting all of the students of Class 7 back round Ween's, well, group of people that are good in combat. Maybe we'll call it Class 7, just to call it just to make it simpler. So of course, I saved the game on the thing, so we actually technically didn't finish the segment. So anyway, utilising the Phoenix wings to be able to have some nice time relaxing in the spa. Actually, I'm not sure if the webcam is positioned properly. Yeah, it's okay, good. So while this seems currently playing, sad news. Multiple YouTubers I watch have just decided to leave. And it's giving me a wave of something like when a bunch of the wrestlers you like are just gone suddenly in like WWE or any promotion really. Whether it's because of releases or because they're retired. It's like, oh. Anyways. Ween, of course, is in the spa because, let's face it, it's Ween. This is probably one of the only things that he cares about other than all the other things. He actually cares about a lot of things, so maybe I'm being disingenuous. Flashback to start of the game. But to be fair, keeping Elise in his mind is a good thing. It means that he'll remember to, rescue her at some point. It's on the priority list, don't get me wrong, but there's definitely things that need to be done. Of course, now that we've got everyone, we need to determine as Class 7, what are we going to do? Are we going to just help the Imperials out like we've been doing the entire fucking time? Or do we maybe help the Noble Alliance out a little bit? Maybe we just be all neutral and just decide to sit in Ymir twiddling our thumbs until it all blows over. Maybe try and break into Crossbell? Obviously that doesn't happen because, sure, but still. This is a optional scene that you're about to be able to access where you can get yourself you can get yourself some link experience with one of these people on this lovely list. In amongst Class 7, and then Toval, Claire, Sharon, and Sarah. Even though Sarah literally shows up in the previous cutscene. So, I mean, based off of impressions, I mean, she did show up and made sure that we weren't going to die that very second. We would have died the next second after Sarah got obliterated, but, it's all fair in that situation. Anyway, whoever you do this with will get some additional link experience. This is not needed for any of the final bonding events, so you can choose against going for any Class 7 and going for one of these lot to get your hands on their accessory. We're going to go for Toval just to reinforce getting the quick caliber. I really do like the quick caliber, so And to be honest, within the first act of Cold Steel 2, I would argue Toval does leave a very strong impression. He's made sure that Alphen and Elise was safe for the time being. If he wasn't there, then let's face it, the Magic Knight fight would have been just a lot more harder. And having his support in the early game before we got the other members of Class 7 was actually very useful.
Hey there. How's the water?
Yeah, it's voiced. Yes, whoever shows up will be in just a towel. Well, bathing suit.
I'm surprised you're still awake.
Come on. I'm still young. You think I'd hit the hay this early? Mind if I join you?
So Twitch ain't gonna ban me for this. Ha 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 ha.
You really can't beat the hot springs of Ymir. I've used them a few times since coming here, but it never gets old. Sounds like I picked the best season to be here, too.
You did, actually. Winter's my favorite season to use the springs, too.
Stream nothingness. Okay, good it is. Streamer vote is correct. That's good.
You really must like coming in here, though. Considering that we've already been in here once today, but I guess I can't really talk either, can I?
No, you sure can't. I could get used to this, alright. Oh, yeah. Kinda overdue and maybe a little out of nowhere, but...
A little out of nowhere is right. What brought this up?
You've been through a hell of a ride since everything went down back in Trista, but... You've gotten through it all just fine. Not only that, you managed to get all of your old classmates and Sarah back together again.
Well, to be fair, that was useless.
Not for you.
That got Sarah back.
I think you're giving me too much credit.
Because there was just a singular phone call by the sounds of things.
Support, yours included, that I was able to
Everyone else though, yeah, you could say Ween.
Don't think I did all that much, personally. And hey, I'll give credit where credit is due. Class 7's only how it is because you're at its center. And that's a fact. Everyone believed that you'd rise up and fight. And they still believe it now. That's why they're here. So, as someone who's been watching over you for a while now, I think you deserve a pat on the back for all you've done. What? Did I overdo it? Well, don't sweat it too much if it bothers you, I guess.
Oh, no. I wasn't laughing at you. It just finally hit home that everything Elise said was true. I had no idea that everyone was thinking of me as much as they were, or that so many people were looking out for me.
I honestly think that if someone decided to make body pillows in Arabonia, you just put Ween on it and it would sell like wildfire somehow. Based off of how every single main character seems to fawn over Ween.
It just made me realize all over again how blind I've been all this time. So I couldn't help but laugh at myself.
Ah, gotcha. Well, then make sure you don't forget it. The friendships you've made aren't the kind that can be broken easily. That goes without saying between us, too, I'll have you know.
Don't worry, I won't forget. Now that Class 7 is together again, I'm sure we'll be able to go back to the Academy one day. As long as we don't give up, I know we can...
Yes, because that's the main objective. We need to finish our education. What about this war that's going on? Okay, we'll deal with the Civil War, and then we'll go and learn all the things we're meant to have been learning.
For ourselves, and for the people who have supported us in getting this far.
That's what I like to hear. I've got your back all the way, Reed.
Your bond with the insert person you choose here is grown. So for us, that's Toval, plus 600. So it's quite nice, actually. If you do want to specifically use it for someone that you definitely want to get the final bonding event with, then hey, you know, that plus 600, kind of useful. Skipping forward a couple of days, we get our third Ymir West day. Which means another snowboarding track will be unlocked, tons of more bonding events, and the game will explain something that I won't have to. And I just saw the Bishy Snowman, yay! The influence of Mishi goes everywhere. Even while Crossbell is on lockdown. So, this is actually half a day due to the fact that the plan is to do a whole meeting. But yeah, since Laura, Emma and Eustace and Sarah all have only just now shown up, they get 2 bonding events that can be viewed. However, it does mean that we have 7 bonding points. We're going to be here a while. But it does make sense. We've got to bond with a lot. We've got a lot of things we can bond with. But my objective, first and foremost, is to head over here to do the snowboarding. Please, thankfully, I think I deleted the thought of me trying to play a snowboarding game and then dying horribly and going, no, that's it. And then I crashed. I think mentally I need to remember to take breaks. I can't just Just because I really love playing Mass Effect does not mean that I should do nothing but that for a while and then wonder why I suddenly get all stressed out and whatnot. So anyway, this is the A3 course, 18 flags in total, and you have to do it in 58 seconds. And Falcon, the arses, really want you to get closer to the barriers, since we can only go around them and not over them. What do we look like, the SSS? Anyways. That's 17, so one more and we'll have gotten the flag total necessary. Is sub 50 doable? Possibly. Is it doable with getting the target of flags? Maybe. I don't know. But point is, you don't need to care. You've got the clear. You did it. So for clearing the A3 course, apparently an expert level course, we get Passion Leggings. And we now get a new board design, purple dotted. So that means that we have access to other types of aesthetics on our boards, different decals. Obviously this, so suddenly, the Ymir board, this looks like a nice graphic of just like, yeah, this makes sense. Purple dotted board looks like if you just put Ween in SX3. This is one of the boards that he'd be able to use, just straight up. And hey, it's purple. I like that. But if I just thought something was good just because of the colors used, then maybe some political parties would have more sway than I thought. But still, political jokes that probably fall flat aside, pretty much mostly everyone has bonding events, minus Toval and Marcius. Okay, everyone else has bonding events. Yippee! So choose whoever you want to choose. Me personally, who have I been bonding? Oh, I forget the buttons every time I link. Looks like I've bonded more with Gaius and Fee out of everyone. Okay. Oh, and Alyssa. So by that logic, some people are here, very recent arrivals. So it's a matter of preference, I would argue. What is Laura doing at this point? Laura wants to bring her family to Ymir at some point. Fair enough. Laura wants to go to Ween's room. Oh boy. This isn't Cold Steel 4 yet. We don't have to think about all that shenanigans. Thank you! Upgrading to the PS4, Falcon. So Laura enters Ween's room to take a good look at his sword, and if you're thinking that this is euphemism or something, then you are wrong, because Ween has an actual sword and we're not referring to his penis. Did I ruin the joke just then? Maybe. Do I care? I don't know. Something random off the cuff. Pop-tastic tortilla corn chips. Because apparently they didn't have Pringles last time someone did some shopping for me. So I actually don't mind those corn chips. It's just they obviously need to be dipped in something, and I don't have anything to dip them in. So, but anyways, Ween offers green tea, so hey, you know. Ooh, the shadow on there. That's a bit off, but oh well. See, this is a nice bonding event. I do like this one because it's just two people just having a good time drinking from green tea, and Ween, it does explain more that Master Kai Fei really was an influence on him, basically, when it comes to some of these traditions. Yeah, meanwhile, young Kai Fei, I believe at this point, is somewhere in Calvard. I don't fully know what exactly, but like he's off doing something that doesn't pertain to Erebonia. Laura, of course, is worried about whether or not her father can actually withstand all of these upgraded weaponry that is occurring. Of course, General Aurelia, who, you know, has done really well with 2 forms of swordsmanship. That's really good. A good thing. And, oh god, Aurelia is very strong. And, of course, Ouroboros being Ouroboros. Rin is thankfully doing a good reality check here, so ultimately I think at the end of the day for Laura to just keep her head level and just keep going the way she's going, and then she'll be fine. Yeah, pardon me on that one. Of course, if you want to do the next bonding event, there is the second one. Pardon me. Where Laura wants to go off into the Isengard range with Reen. And yes, this will also consume your second bonding event. See, the first bit of text actually makes it seem like, oh, you can for 1 bonding point view both of them. No, you can't. So, you can use 2 on both of the events. That's why they give you 7. Because they knew that this would be the case. Anyway, we are doing that. We're going to use both on Laura. So I think it should surprise no one that on my original playthrough of these games back when I was not streaming or recording, so all footage is not found, I chose Laura first. I thought she was cool. Maybe this is a bad judgment of my character, but I don't know. I just didn't care about all the ones that people were screaming on Reddit about. Oh, this one's more canon. No, this one's more canon. And then I'll just kindly remind everyone, no one's canon. Not in terms of Reen. Cold Steel, no one's canon. The canon is whatever you want it to be. Because then, if Reen shows up at all in Kuro, he's unless he suddenly appears in the scene and goes, this is my girlfriend or boyfriend. Insert name of character we've never met. It's just going to be left up in the air. So anyway, we cut to Laura and Reen in the Isengard range. Reen reminding us he had to spend a month up here. That's just how it was. It's so simple. These two are just able to bond so easily over the fact that they both use different types of swords. A mere swordsman stands no chance against a force of tanks or soldiers. Then why do JRPGs have so many instances of sword users wrecking all these advanced machines up? This isn't even like this isn't an issue with Trails necessarily. We can harken this back to, no, fucking hell, even the SNES days of JRPGs, because Final Fantasy VI, I'm sure Chrono Trigger had a few hiccups here and there, where somehow your party of fantasy using weaponry guys are able to beat, I have done it, I have unleashed the Ultra Omega Tank 3000, and somehow that, and as like a big boss fight, and somehow punching it to death actually works quite well. You'd think that the first thing you'd do with a advanced machinery is enact an anti-punch field, but well. So at least they're aware that, yeah, swords probably are going to go out of form. I mean, meanwhile, in Azure, one of the big boss fights near the end of the game is against a guy using a big fuck off sword, but still, Yeah, that's right. Obviously, it sure has a hidden secret boss fight against Sephiroth. I'm just joking, but I won't say much more on the matter because that's a sure. This is Cold Steel. So anyway, now we have 5 bonding points still to use on whoever we want. So anyway, Fee is calling Beddock's cute. That's because he is a cute boy. Yeah. Tried to teach him to be a hunter, and he's still he's just cute. And it's perfect time to feed him. So, Bean and Fee feed the dog. Yay. Woof, woof. Fee has obviously got some kind of equipment that gives her access to speak with animals. And so is doing that. But she's wasting her spell slots every single time she uses it. No, whatever, long rests are the requirement for that. Yes, I am talking Baldur's... Well, I would say Baldur's Gate 3, but let's face it, D&D has existed for a long while. Sephiroth was one of the strongest. You could probably... the boss probably could have been very easy going if you're one of the strongest. But we get a bit more info on how Senna and Leo were when it came to actually teaching Fee things at a young age. It's almost like as if Jaeger groups, because of how mercenary they are, of course, once the leader's gone, it's like, okay, either someone takes over, or they're all just going to splinter off trying to find work, because, you know. Fee wants to know what the hell happened, but, you know. And Beddock's here is a nice supporting dog. Friendly reminder, Fee, you do have all of Class 7 with you. You've got friends like Green and Laura. And maybe 1 or 2 of the others. Because Class 7 is quite a big friendship group, I have to say. Like, or then maybe I'm comparing it to the sizes of any friendship groups I was a part of, and then realising that I had a lack of friends. Well, anyways. Me being a lonely arsehole, as per usual, aside, we still got 4 more bonding points. We could use 2 of them on one of the other people that have only just shown up. That would save us some hassle. Actually, yeah, let's just go into the Phoenix Wings. I know which bonding events I want to do. Who knows? Why does it have to fuck up? I hate winter. I really hate winter. Like, the Christmas season, like, at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, the winter season starts then. But it can still vary on the weather. And it's like, oh, you know, Christmas, you be in that festive spirit. Then afterwards, it's like, okay, New Year's, a bit of jubilation. Yay, it's a new year, woo. And then January hits, and it's just... Because... Sarah alludes to stuff to do with the guild and mentions crossbells, so why does this happen to me? Sarah wants to drink in the tavern as per usual. I'm not surprised by that. So why was she not there first? That would make more sense. But well. Alcohol from Weiss. Damn those Calvarians. The specific type that Sarah's drinking is called Jun Mai Shu. Oh, God. old alcoholic teacher. That's just a trope. Ah, well. Whoever this Kai Fei person is, he sure did at least teach me something. But anyways. Sarah had to go sober for a while because of all of the things going on with the whole Civil War stuff. So unfortunately didn't find anything else more out because they don't want to be giving that kind of information away in optional bonding offence if something key about the capital was necessary to be heard about. So it talks more about the earlier one with her dating the Bracers. Fortunately, in tons of trails, that, as per usual in trails, no fatalities. That's a give out at any title later on kind of thing. Like it's a civil war. There's probably some deaths occurring, but they're all off-screen, unnamed deaths, so it doesn't matter. Sarah is obviously trying to be supportive, trying to be the teacher that she has been in Cult Steel 1 and all that, because aka a very hands-off approach, while also being drunk. So, yeah. That's Sarah for you. Need we say more? Well, anyway, I don't feel like talking to Sarah anymore. Where the hell's Eustace? I want to do his once. There's Eustace. Who the hell's that? Oh, the horse. Wayne is smart to suggest to Eustace about utilizing the horse. So Eustace is able to see exactly what positives and negatives Arthur the Horse has at this point. So of course does the right thing and giving him all the care and adoration a horse could dream of. How lovely. Reed and Eustace takes them onto the mountain pass, where it gets to have some time to actually exercise. Yay! Eustace admits that the only thing that he only had the power to get one item out of the academy, the bike. So, yeah, well, what can you do? Eustace really does believe in the sins of the father approach. And just reminding of the promise Eustace made at the end of the Brotherhood stuff. So, anyways, that's the first bonding event. That's not as interesting, to be honest. But definitely a fun time for those two, at the very least. Now, if we do our next, now to do the next event. The two of them decide to be going to the tavern to try and brainstorm some ideas, while having, of course, non-alcoholic drinks, because tea is the better option. I, for one, would drink tea, but I like having a sugar intake, and also I'd have to. Also, if I try to make a cup of tea, I'll probably end up having to make multiple because of annoying family. But anyway, Alf and Kiki, the children, have appeared. So yes, Alf here is the idiot child that got caught, but anyways. So, Wayne and Eustace are now going to have some fun playing with children. I realise how bad that sounded. Don't worry, they're just going to play hide and seek. It's not that bad. The good old classic hide and seek. Alf immediately finds Kiki because that is a terrible spot to hide in, you fool. So that means hunting down Eustace and Ween. Ween was hiding behind a walk. And, well, where's Eustace? Well, surprise attack by Milliam, who wasn't even playing. But also Eustace's sport a little bad, I'd argue. When it comes to that. But yes, Milliam, of course, hears the word, we're playing hide and seek, which means fun and games? My turn, I want to be in it. And so, of course, Milliam joins in, and so they end up playing hide and seek for a good while. See, sometimes you just need these sillier bonding events, just for the hilarity. So, of course, the children and Milliam have a lot more energy than Eustace and Ween does, because they're older, so by proxy they obviously have less energy. Which I think is a bullshit thing when it comes down to it. It's just that children, obviously, they burn a lot more calories by moving around a lot more, but they also intake a lot more calories. When you get older, you start doing a lot less things that actively burns through the energy you have. So, obviously, or something else. I don't know what I'm saying, possibly, but yeah, calories are part of it. But this reinvigorates the pair of them into knowing that they need to make sure that a situation like what happened at the start of the game doesn't happen again. I mean, for starters, wherever the Norwegians happen to be currently based while being in Erebonia, doesn't matter at the moment, but may matter in the future. So we got one last bonding point to spend, and we've got several people we could spend it with. Ultimately, I believe we're going to go back to the mansion, regardless. Is Alyssa in this room? No, she's not. Let's do Alyssa's. We have 1 point left, might as well go for someone that has... Oh, no, that's Queen's mother. Yeah, she is in the mansion, so... Oh, is she up here? She is. She's looking at the guns. No, Alyssa, no. But she has a plan of action, and that is to, well, help on the bike, which is good. I guess you can't just be an engineer's daughter without knowing some... Well, you can't be a wife without knowing some form of engineering, I guess. I think I will say that I have things going on in multiple ways now. That's great. Well, anyways, Alyssa helps out with sorting out the bike, making sure it's definitely at least working, although Although obviously the overall schematics of it, Alyssa doesn't have the same level of knowledge of because, well, she didn't work on it. But this is just a reminder that she's a Wynford, and let's face it, Wynfords certainly know their way around machines. A reminder as to stuff to do with what we've learned from the first game, and Alyssa understanding that about everything that she claims to be needing to understand. And head pats. There is the meme of Reem being a serial head patter. He head pats you, you'd suddenly have... I think his head pats releases some kinds of pheromone that makes all the... Oh god, my nose. That makes people not realise what they're doing. And suddenly they're just ecstatic to be near Ween. Either that or he found the secret type of Lynx body spray that will, you know, actually work. Like the ad suggests back in the day. Flashback! So they did meet as children. So, goody. Yeah, well, after that was when the... So a year before Ween opened up his ogre powers for the first time, or whatever, or... which, yeah, I call it that because I know that that's what it's called. It's just his other form at the moment, I guess, still. Ugh. The issue of this game being so long. In the time since let's just tell you that it was Ween all along, but oh well. So, yes, Falcon, this could have easily been canon. I'm not on the ride or die train of someone must be canon, but if there was choices, people argue day and night over it. I think if there was to be a canon one, out of all of the options, Alyssa would make the most sense. Even if I'm saying it in a very defeatist way, because I have my preferred options as well. So anyways, that's the last bonding point we have. Which means, fucking hell, we spent 37 minutes, as I can see on the OBS thing, in Ymir. This is an intermission episode, basically. Shit. And by that I mean the intermission act, because it's a segment. So anyways, resting will mean that we'll carry on. All bonding events that you didn't do / run out bonding points for will be gone, and any potential hidden quests, wherever they may be, will also be gone. And then at 12, all the Class 7 go to the Phoenix Wings to specifically look into what they're going to do now everyone's scattered.
You went up a rank.
We hopped all the way to B2. Which means for rank B3 we get Dragon Vein, a rare quartz that has its use, and rank B2 gives us Brave Heart, an accessory we can equip on someone. And we only got a C. Yay! Hey, there's a lot more we could have done in that part. Woo! And my nose really is just... Ah! Anyways, it's now for the meeting. And, well, now time for the meeting.
I thought long and hard about it, and I think we as a class need to find a third way.
So at every opportunity possible, we're going to help the Imperials. Ho 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 ho.
Half of our own, separate from the ones the reformist and noble factions are taking.
A third way, you say? I do agree. It wouldn't feel quite right for us to directly support either side.
I guess this idea of neutrality explains Cold Steel 4, but...
True. We might be military academy students, but we're still students.
Involving ourselves in a civil war isn't something we should take lightly. We might have a divine knight on our side, but we're still going to need to be very careful how we proceed.
Whatever we do, Valimar will certainly be at the center.
No doubt.
We've all seen how powerful the Divine Knights are. If we use them right, we can intervene in the war as much as we want.
They're quite literally beings of legend. However, his potential influence on the war is all the more reason why he will need to be used cautiously.
What are we gonna do then? Even if we agree on not siding with either of the factions, I'm pretty sure each of us have different stuff we want to do. And different things that we have to do too.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, there's a break. Okay. I was secretly just counting in my head. Okay, is everyone going to talk before we get back to Wayne saying something?
For my part, I need to rescue Elise and Princess Alphen from the Noble Alliance's clutches.
However are we going to do that, huh?
Whether it's alone or with you guys, it's something I'll do.
There's no way you'll be alone for that. We're with you all the way. I'm concerned about Dad too, what with them having him under arrest.
Oh, okay, so Marcus' dad is just in a cell somewhere, rotting away. Oh, well, anyway, moving on.
I'm glad I was able to see Dad, but I'm worried about her.
For me, I'm worried about Ruhr as a whole. It's a huge relief to see you're alright, Sharon, but Mother's still unaccounted for.
So everyone has members of their family missing or just locked away in a cell somewhere, maybe even dead in a ditch, who knows, on that front, and just worries over all of the areas that they come from.
And I have no idea where Father's been for the past month. I'm certain he must be well, but all the same.
Meanwhile, RC dead in a ditch.
We're all worried about our families, I see. Hopefully, we can find some information on all of them before the fighting gets any more fierce.
I'm certainly not worried about the safety of mine. Although, suffice it to say, if we choose to intervene in the war, conflict with them is all but inevitable.
That goes for Zeno and Leo too. They've been hired by the Noble Alliance, so I'd say it's likely we'll run into them in the future.
Plus, Emma and I still need to talk to Vita.
Alright, you try and talk to an evil person, see where that would get you.
To figure out what's so important to her that she was willing to break a taboo to do it.
That's true.
Whatever you decide to do, you'll have my full support.
Mine's dirty, I'm not gonna come on the taboo thing.
Just as the warriors of Nord did 250 years ago, I'm determined to fight to protect my second homeland, and those who live within it.
Oh, same! We can do— I can back him up, right, Claire?
How could I say no? I have my own duties.
Oh
to
wait,
take care
I
of
just did.
the Railway Military Police.
No.
But I fully intend to support.
I'm thinking it's about time I return to helping the guild, but I'll still be in touch with Sarah.
The adults are planning to go off and do their own thing, so that means that yes, the final battle you'd have them with is of course back in Warhard.
Serving as your dormitory's caretaker.
I'm your instructor, so you're stuck with me to the very end.
No.
Whatever you choose to do, you'll have my support. You're
Oh
going
yay!
to
Depending on
decide
your
a
opinion,
specific
Sarah.
course of action, though. Resolving to find a third way is a start, but only a start. It also leaves plenty of questions that need to be answered on top of it all.
Well, then how about this? Let's figure out right now whether or not we want to keep using Ymir as our base of operations.
Just so we're clear on this, there's a limit to how many people can use the spirit path at any one time. And with as many people as we have now, I'm not sure how useful it's going to be at this point.
While I want to give out about something to do with the spirit path that Celine just said, I can't do that until later, until certain other Cold Steel games. But
But we're also just as limited on where we can go.
but me giving out about that time will probably be pointless because of the whole situation that's ongoing at said time. Probably the spirit path will be a lot more usable at that point.
An astute point. The Noble Alliance will no doubt be even more wary of us than before.
In the end, no matter what we decide, we lose.
But I just realised, Ring's mentioning about making this a base of operations still, like keeping it as the case. But the Noble Alliance have been here already. Vita's been here, along with the Northern Jaegers, which would mean that, well, what's about to happen was going to happen at some point, and probably better for the Noble Alliance for doing so sooner rather than later.
There's gotta be something that only
So,
we can do.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but I know it exists. And I'm sure that we'll find it. The best thing we can do now is keep talking things out until we find a way. There's no point in rushing into a decision.
Well, doesn't this look fun?
to the surprise of nobody, the Noble Alliance show up because why would they not? It's like, okay, we know that all the Class 7 have grouped together. We know that they've been going to and from Ymir because we know that they were there, that Wing was there at one point.
Vita?
So where do you? So why is anyone surprised that they'll show up? Well, at least feet are showing up.
It's lovely to see you again, Emma. You were finally able to reunite with all of your classmates. I'm happy for you. Really, I am. The goddess was on your side after all.
Cut the crap, Vita. Have you been listening in all this time?
Where are you? I'm not far at all. Listen closely now.
Panning shot of the womb.
That sounds just like...
Is that?
It's coming from above us.
That actually, okay, Vanguard sounds exactly like a plane, like sometimes that flies a bit too low. But yes, the Pandagal is here. So that's a very unfortunate thing.
Isn't that the Noble Alliance Force's flagship?
What's the Pantagruel doing here?
Damn it! I didn't think she'd tell the rest of their army where we were.
Then you're an idiot.
But why now?
Why? Because our preparations are finally complete.
Vita!
Vita, you're here. Yes, I am here, in the flesh. Good day to you all, Class 7. As nice as it would be to finally give you a hug, Emma, I wouldn't want to keep our guest of honor waiting any longer. So, without further ado...
In comes Quo.
It can't be. Isn't that the Azure Knight? Crow.
Piloting Ordine, the Azure Knight, is Quo. He is not the knight himself, but you know, say what you want.
Long time no see, guys. Sorry for dropping in on you like this, but I'm sure you know the drill by now. You ready to have some fun?
Is that really you, Crow?
There's no doubt about it.
See. You damn terrorist. Come on!
Right. Heed my call! Valimar!
I see, Lloyd. Valimor. I don't know why I said things like that, but point being, Reen hops into Valimar, and of course we'll now be taking on Quo because, let's face the fact, we're still going to be horribly fucked because Quo still has the experience factor. Even with the improvements made, there's just no way Reen can beat Quo. And yes, this might be a I can see the future moment, but still.
I'm not gonna lose this time, because at the end of the day, he's just an obstacle that needs to be overcome. So lend me your power, Valimar!
Very well. Use my power as you see fit.
You've really taken to piloting since your last encounter, haven't you? I was hoping you would, and you didn't let me down. But potential is only that. Potential. And you, Reen, might want to reevaluate just how many obstacles need overcoming.
So of course Peter teleports in a whole bunch of the baddies, like Ouroboros, Zephyr and Altina.
This is bad.
Aren't those the Alliance's allies?
Long time no see, kiddos. You doing all right, Fee?
I see the purple lightning has joined your ranks.
Zeno. Leo.
Zephyr.
Oh, sad.
A few members of
Ouroboros. Really,
Ouroboros,
still.
too.
Yeah.
Guess all the big guys wanted a piece of us today.
And look, Sammy's here too.
Kindly stop referring to Clown Soleus with that bizarre nickname.
Yeah, blue ball.
Such a pleasure to visit this wintry wonderland once again.
Oh, it's a pleasure, all right. The time for my long-awaited revenge has finally come.
Oh no, Jubilee. Oh no, oh,
It's only been 2 days since you first fought them, you know.
Then why did the calendar jump 3 days?
This could pose a problem. Why send so many powerful
be rather formidable adversaries after all. It wouldn't do to underestimate you.
Class 7 acting like they didn't disrupt the Noble Alliance's plan everywhere they went.
I'm pleased to see you all again, ladies and gentlemen of Class 7. As for you, dear brother, I was told that you'd run away from home. It does my heart good to see you safe and sound. So, you've finally gathered up the will to make the difficult choices life set at your feet, I presume. Even if those choices place you in my line of fire.
Yes, I have.
He's shown up too.
Well, of course he would.
The Noble Alliance is pulling out all the stops to finally get rid of us.
The Noble Alliance are doing the smart thing. Wait for Wynn to gather up all the Class 7 so they all be in one localized place and then just stomp the shit out of them. Just stomp on them all. Just bury them. No-sell all their moves. And then hit them with only one move and that just kills them for good. Good, like how a squash match should be. And of course, Class 7 can fight back a little bit. Like, you know, they're the ones that will be having to do all the selling, of course.
You and Valimar have your own battle to fight.
Are you sure? We're in for a real brawl out here, but a guy couldn't ask for better opponents.
Leave the battle on the ground to us.
We've no intention of backing down without a fight. Wait, Sharon! I know they're all strong, but still.
The numbers game.
What do you say we get started?
Like, even if all these guys get beaten up, the ship could just hellfire with missiles or whatever else the Manacle may have as weaponry could always happen. Anyways. Thankfully, there's a bit of a ledge that these two can go and battle it out on.
I'm impressed. You managed to hold your own better than I expected you to. It's only been a month or so, but you've really grown as an Awakener, Reen.
Still doesn't beat 2-ish years.
I have without growing from the experience. And now that I've done all that, I'm going to be the one who takes you down.
No, you're not. I said you could hold your own, not that you could win. Remember
Oh,
there's
3
still
years,
a
okay.
3-year gap's worth of
I was
experience
roughly on the mark there. Crow, being a realist,
and it's
points
time
out the
you realize
obvious.
just how much of an impact that gap has.
That's enough, Crow!
And of course, meanwhile, fighting is about to begin on the ground. With the others taking on everyone else. This leaves the rest of Class 7.
They're putting up a good fight so far, but...
Yeah, it's not looking good. They're outnumbered for one thing.
Then it's time we lent them our aid.
Agreed. Weapons at the ready, guys.
Except before they can aid the others, of course, Class 7 are left to deal with Rufus.
Stay right where you are. I'll serve as your opponent today.
You will?
Trying to stop us from joining in?
I'd rather our intrusion cause as little inconvenience as possible for the people of this village. I'll let you make the first move. It's been quite some time since I last instructed you in fencing, Eustace. I look forward to...
Oh, I pressed A a little early.
His guard's perfect.
Stay alert. Rufus is a master of court. We'll need to put all we have into this battle to even stand a chance against him.
I would have it no other way.
And now to select who will participate in this battle against Rufus. Eustace here is locked into your party, so you'll have to use him no matter what. So choose whoever you want. I've just gone for a myriad of different people because I can. Simple as that.
Show me what you're capable of.
My turn. Now's our chance. Don't let it pass.
Of course.
Leave this to me. Break.
Here I go.
Oh, by the way, I need to get a hit on Rufus first. There we go. I got a hit on him. On him. Good. I can now look at all the stats. So Rufus here is level 80 with 128,640 health. All the animal efficiencies are a little weaker than they could be, and while there are a few statuses you could potentially get, it's very unlikely. And of course you can't just death blow him because that would be cheating, at least in this fight. So yeah, the strategy against Rufus is quite a simple one. Try and do stuff. Oh, we missed again. Thankfully, he seems to be intent on murdering Marcus. So... Oh, the missing. Done! Marcus is down.
This can't be happening.
Here I go. Marcus activate. Here I go. There.
Oh, light.
Of course.
I'll handle this.
How careless!
This is...
Here I go. Of course.
You may notice that we're doing so little damage to him, while he's doing a lot of damage to us. Although Miriam had her guard, so she was able to live for at least for some time.
It's my turn. Blessing of the moon.
I suppose I should thank you.
Righto.
He got the 10 health. Fuck. But I'm Solarian. Yeah, just catch the higher level art. Oh yes, it did murder everyone. Unfortunately for us, this Rufus fight was a forced failure, so even if we did do our best, Slash was on New Game Plus times a million, we wouldn't. There'd be a point where he'd just spam an S-Craft slash high power arts till everyone dies.
Well, how is he so...
He didn't stand a chance.
He might even be stronger than Sarah.
If Sarah is your ballpark fee, I have some sad news for you. Meanwhile, in Azure, quite a few people who I would argue is stronger than Sarah.
Are you guys okay?
Meanwhile, these two have just been standing
You
here.
got time to be worrying about them?
You ain't getting out of this one, Green. All right, bring it on. It's time to settle this, Crow.
Bring it on.
And now it's time for the rematch from the end of the first game. However, because we do not have access to any of Class 7 in this fight, we do not have Spirit or Charge, meaning that 1000 EP ain't going to be getting used, and we can't heal. Oh, pardon me. So the only thing we can do is fight. It shouldn't surprise you that this is also a forced failure fight, seeing as Crow is tearing through our health like no tomorrow, and we do so little. We do so little damage. So while yes, he has 240,000 health, there's nothing we can do about it. Though you can, although 100% seal, so if you did get a seal in, I mean, but you can't. There's just no way that you'd be able to.
Hang in there.
Oh dearie me, it would appear that we have failed horribly at our job.
Settled enough for you?
Didn't even bother to use that trump card of yours.
That just shows how powerful he is.
He wasn't even trying last time, then was he?
Come on. With the way you are now, I don't even need to try. I'll always win.
A bit too cocky for my liking, but Crow is right.
Illustrates just how massive the gulf between us is. Maybe you think you've had it tough up till now, but you're gonna need to go through a hell of a lot more if you want to even the odds.
I see
see the battle here has come to an end.
Hey, Via.
I can't help but feel a little bummed that everything went exactly as I thought it would. Still, it just goes to show how much faith I have in your skills, my sweet Azure Chevalier.
Funny, I don't recall ever becoming yours. How's everything up top?
I think it's only a matter of time before the battle is decided. But we've caused enough trouble for the people of Ymir already. It's about time we brought this to a close.
Vita uses magic to open up a floating screen magic thing that
apologies for not coming down to
allows
speak with you in person, ladies and gentlemen of Thor's Military Academy.
that allows Duke Kyan to speak to them before I was rudely interrupted by him. Stupid cutscene.
You know who I am, of course, but I am Duke Kyan, ruler of the Lemare province and supreme leader of the Noble Alliance.
Anyone who has to call themselves the supreme leader aren't that supreme, to be honest.
So even the big guy himself.
I must say, what a curious group we have here. I heard as much, but allow me to extend my most heartfelt congratulations. My expectations have thoroughly been exceeded. When I saw young Eustace and Laura in Legram earlier this year, I could never have imagined this is how we would next meet. Oh, I'm sure your parents must have warned you against wandering off with such disreputable individuals on a number of occasions. But I suppose every child thinks that they alone know what is best for themselves.
Children don't know what they want.
Duke Alberea was simply livid about what happened. But it can't hurt to learn more about the outside world,
Yeah.
Lisa's mouth is condescending.
Did you come all the way here just to tell us that?
Don't be silly, child. Reen Schwarzer. I had this meeting arranged because I wanted to speak with you. Perhaps the method was a touch too garish for something so simple, but do forgive me for not formally requesting an audience.
With me?
With you. Allow me to get right to the point. I wish to invite you, Ashen Chevalier, aboard our flagship.
Wait, why?
I've heard all about your magnificent exploits across the land, and so I thought it would be nice to sit down and have a long, pleasant chat with you about the past, the present, as well as your future.
Are you suggesting you want Reen to join the Noble Alliance?
Should you accept my invitation, we will withdraw peacefully from Ymir.
Kyan is smart here. Get Reen to be on the Pentacle. Even if he goes, no, I won't do anything. You have him on the Pentacle locked up. It's perfect planning. Now that Ashen Knight won't be involved. And if he does join, yay! 2 Divine Knights. The Noble Alliance would win.
Furthermore,
Outright at
I
that
give
point.
you my personal assurance that we will leave this village alone for the duration of this war.
And spoiler alert, they actually do.
Fine proposition, is it not? Are we interested?
Very well. Allow me to accept your invitation.
Reen knowing what could happen if he says no.
This is clearly a trap. They wouldn't come all the way out here and take you into their flagship if it weren't.
I appreciate your concern. A trap or not, this might be a good chance for us, too. I think I'd regret it if I let it pass. Valimar, transport Celine back outside.
Are you certain?
Now hold it right there.
Don't worry about me. The odds were against all of us getting back together, but we did it. And I'm sure we can do it again, too. So just wait with Emma for now. I'll be back before you know it. Valimar, if you would.
Very well.
Celine forgets that she's not the one in control of Valimar. But yes, that Reen was smart here, because if he said no, Kyan could be like, oh, okay then. Okay, everyone. Destroy Ymir and kill everyone. Right, there we go. Now we won't have to deal with that problem anymore. Although it's trails and killing them probably wouldn't happen, but still.
But
and you would use it. I want you to prove that the convictions you cling to are worthy of your loyalty. Not for my benefit, but for yours.
Wait! Lord Rufus!
Well met, Lord Schwarzer. It's a pleasure to see you again. Allow me to extend my apologies for the harm my father visited upon this town and its people.
Never mind that. What do you intend to do with my son? And what is a promising young man like yourself?
We're simply going to borrow young Green for a short while. There's nothing to worry about. I'm a busy man these days, though, so for now, I bid you adieu.
And so Rufus leaves after getting a bit more words out than other people. And all the class 7 now in Ymir without Reen. Oh well.
Reen! You all finally got back together too. Why?
Okay,
Sorry, but I'll be back, I promise. So stay safe.
And so Reen is now going to be on the Pentacle. Alyssa hoganing it a little bit by having to get the last word. Sad cat sounds, potentially? Yeah. Oh well. And yeah, the Pentacle now just leaves. As that makes sense. And so that ends Act 1. I didn't realise it would take me an hour. I forget how long some of the bonding events can actually be when you're not speeding through them on a repeated playthrough. But yes, that's Ashen Chronicles done. Everyone gets strengthened bonds here, but yeah, well, it means we do get a bunch of level ups. Just go through them, because let's face it, we've probably seen most of these abilities anyway. Not for Toval. Now do save, because there was a lot of stuff that was happening, so I recommend saving it just out of making sure. Pressing the continue button, in the middle of the night, the Pentacle is flying high above in the sky, somewhere in space. Well, somewhere in the air, not in space, but still, the point being. And smart decision again by Noble Alliance, they have Falamar chained down onto it, where Ordine is able to just stand freely. This is because we may potentially just try to hop out a window and try to flee. Being like, well, I did as you said, now I'm off, bye, fuck you all. And then that wouldn't... And that would be bad. I mean, Crow could give chase, but...
So this is what Duke Cayenne looks like from up close. It's hard to believe that I've ended up in the same room as the leader of the Noble Alliance. Although, I guess we did meet back in Legram before the war broke out.
Reen Schwarzer, truth be told, you don't want this war to drag on any more than you do.
Really?
I mean, it makes sense. Pointless bloodshed isn't needed if whoever's still holding out just gave up and went, oh, right, fine, you guys win. It would save some hassle, but it wouldn't be Noble Alliance victory, so... Take that one,
we only acted as we did, due in part to our dearly departed Chancellor's behavior being far too unreasonable to justify turning a blind eye.
And yet you're the ones that hired terrorists to terrorize not just domestically, but internationally.
He garnered the trust
See
of His
the
Majesty,
trade conference.
And in
in
turn
Ashore.
misused that trust. He flagrantly disregarded this nation's beloved culture and traditions, treating Livonia as if it were his own personal property.
Tradition,
Surely
as it
you
were.
too noticed this.
Well...
Osborne was doing quite a few things that maybe he shouldn't have been doing,
Story
but...
after story during our field studies about how aggressive his policies were. About the way he didn't
That's
care
politics
about
for ya.
the enemies he made as a result, creating terrorist groups like the Imperial Liberation Front.
But as I said, the cause of our nation's ills is now gone. Now, all that remains is to turn back the hands of time just a touch, and the good old days of the Empire will be upon us once more. The key to this bright future lies in putting aside our differences and joining hands. Am I wrong?
I'm afraid that yes, you are. Do you honestly believe that people can so easily put aside their differences after all the Alliance has done? You occupied Heimdall and effectively took every one of its citizens hostage, imprisoned the Imperial family. And let's not forget how you're now in league with the enemy nation responsible for the destruction of Gorelia Fortress. After all that, the Imperial army would never bow their heads to the likes of you, even if the rest of the population did.
Wait, hold on. I must have skipped a page in a show where, hold on. Which enemy nation that led to the destruction of Gorelia Fortress? Because if he's referring to Calvard, Calvard didn't destroy Gorelia. That was an ion used by Croix from Crossbell. Well, we know not to give Ring leadership because he thinks Crossbell is part of Calvard. Calvard would happily be like, oh, Crossbell's our land? Oh, thank fuck for that. Now we get all of the money from that. You know? Gorelia got destroyed by Crossbell. Oh, you're in leagues with Crossbell. Meanwhile, in Crossbell, what the fuck's going on in Erebonia? What? Is there a war? Oh, okay. Fair enough. Anyway, let's deal with our shit. So...
My word. I'm afraid there's been a terrible misunderstanding. The Imperial family is simply under our loving protection. They certainly haven't been imprisoned. But that does bring me to exactly why I want you to help us. The Azure Knight is already on our side.
And Kyan showing that he has some level of smarts.
That would mean we'd have two of the great knights of Erebonian legend to put into play.
More than that, but anyways.
Them with our Panzer Soldats. The Imperial Army's armored divisions would cower before us. You may not find us winning the war ideal, but this union benefits everyone more than carrying on.
In some cases, yeah, what Kyan's saying is true.
I don't think it's that simple.
But Ween is staunchly defending the Imperial, meaning he's not going a third way. And Rufus is pointing out the obvious psychological aspect. And the mobility part. Yeah, psychological impact. Because you see something like that and you're just like, what the fuck? Instead of, oh, I can take it. And yeah, everyone saw what they did immediately, so...
You're only human. As such, we are as captivated as we are terrified of giant beings bearing human form. And if that holds true even for mass-produced soldats made with modern technology, it will be all the more true for the divine knights of legend you and Crow possess.
Yep.
Can't argue with that logic.
I will say it once more. Gileath Osborne is dead.
Yeah, I don't think Reem was disputing that point.
All that's left to be done is end this ridiculous war and return order to the Empire. Only then will everything be as it should. That includes both your pleasant academy life and the peaceful days of darling Elise and her friend the princess.
Are you trying to...
Whatever you ultimately decide, their safety is guaranteed. I would ask that you promise him this, if nothing else, Your Grace.
But of course, I'm not a monster.
We may stand on opposite sides of this conflict, but I still sit on Thor's board of directors. And in that capacity, I suggest you consider carefully the choice before you. After all, every soldier must decide for himself whether a cause is worth fighting, perhaps even dying for. I look forward to hearing your answer.
They all walk off. And Reen, although he's not under arrest, he is kind of placed into a form of arrestment where he's obviously not allowed to just leave the ship at this moment. He needs to actively go, yeah, I join you, or try and break out. Either of the options work. Then he'd be able to leave. But we cut to the next day. And the main area of the Pentacle looks actually quite elegant, and you can tell that this is used by nobles. Well, mainly, ideally used for nobles. This is the guest area. So imagine the other areas. Well, then again, it is a battleship. So, but And of course there's a panning shot of this door over here. We'll probably have to go over there at some point. Anyways, inside of this door is Ween.
All that's left to be done is end this ridiculous.
And we're playing the words that Clan said.
That includes both your.
I suggest you consider
And
it
Rufus.
after all.
We've already had that stuff, so we'll just press A because that saves us a little bit of hassle.
Argue that this war began because the noble faction went too far. The longer it goes on, the more people are going to suffer.
The needs of the many versus the needs of the few. That is what's going on inside of Ween's head.
I could reduce the number of victims. Be friends with Crow again? Free Elise and Princess Elfin? No, this isn't that simple. Think, Rain, think.
I obviously should choose based on whether or not I could be friends with Crow. If that was Ween's only motivation, then this would be a lot different.
I was able to reunite with the others, but Elise and Princess Elfin are still in the Alliance's custody. What's the best thing I can do? This isn't just about me. What do all of us want to do?
Keep racking your brain like that and smoke will start coming out of your ears.
Crow is here.
What do you want?
Hey now, no need to give me that look. I figured I was gonna find you busy thinking everything over like your life depended on it.
Well, it kind of does.
But what do you know? I was right.
How about you mind your own damn business?
I want to be friends with Crow again, Bowser.
I figured the glorious Azure Chevalier would be far too busy with the war to be hanging out around here.
It's tough being popular. If you joined us, I could get away with doing half the work I am. So come on, stop freaking out about it so much and make a choice.
This isn't something I can just decide by flipping a coin, Crow. Besides, it would probably be an easier choice if not for a certain someone. What's that in your hand, anyway?
Grub, of course. Kinda early, but I brought you your lunch. Mind if I join you?
I'm trying to reposition myself because apparently this is. How can I stream more hours of Mass Effect? Yeah, something like this because it's nasty.
Fries and onion rings, huh?
Interesting
I was
meal.
expecting something
As
more
per you.
fancy, like I had last night.
Oh, that kind of food more your thing? Okay then, give me a minute while I go ask the chef to whip something up.
No,
So
this is
it's
fine.
fair to say that Ween is in under a form of
Burger looks
protective
delicious.
custody by the Noble Alliance at this point.
Alright, dig in.
So he has the luxury of being fed properly, which is good.
This tastes kind of different from a normal burger. Oh, no wonder. It's got whitefish in it.
Yeah, they're called fish burgers.
Blech. Pardon me. And yeah, they're not hamburgers, they're fish burgers. Yay!
Yeah.
I like a good fish
Tartar sauce
burger.
makes for an unusual extra flavoring. This tastes. I like this way more than the food I had last night, to be honest.
Well, glad to hear. Guess it was worth putting my cooking skills to the test after all.
Wait, you made?
Was my first time cooking in a while too. Sharon could probably do better though, but I wanted to give it a shot anyway. This stuff was like soul food back in Dry where I grew up.
Oh.
To think, all the time we spent searching for the leader of the Imperial Liberation Front, and he was right under our noses. Crow Armbrust from the Dry SEZ.
Oh, yeah. Vita was using some weird thing of hers to let you see what was going on, wasn't she? So I guess you saw what happened there.
Yeah. Dry was that special economic zone in the Northwest you guys went to during our August field study. So you ended up going back to your old...
Yeah, by pure coincidence. It's changed a lot since I was last there, so it was kind of surreal, but it was nostalgic in its own way too.
It's been bugging me for a long time now. What could have made you want to join a group of terrorists like the Imperial Liberation Front?
Why else?
What
Osborn,
was
of
it that
course.
made you hate Chancellor Osborn that much? Enough to take his life? Tell me, Crow. Please. I want to know what it was that made you who you are now. What kind of place Jirai was, and what you were doing before you entered the academy and met Toa, Angelica, and George.
Where's the fun in prying into a guy's past? Save all that talk for your number one in class. Who's the lucky girl anyway? Elisa? Laura? Emma? Fee?
Nope.
Don't tell me it's Milliam, because, you know, it...
Crow understands not to the children.
I'm serious, Crow. Think of telling me your past is paying, because until I know, until we know.
You're really serious.
Crow?
We're using potential bracer skills to the test by wanting to know more information about
Nothing on
people.
yours, that's for sure. If you find yourself thinking that's all when I'm done, well, I warned you. So, you really want to know?
Yeah. Nothing you say will change my mind. Please, tell me.
All right, you win. Like I said, it's just your run-of-the-mill sob story. Pick up any history textbook and you'll probably find a dozen others just like it. It's the kind of story that's so common no one bothers to remember it, like it never even happened.
So watchers, our minds will go blank for at least a couple of
In those
minutes.
days, Dry was known as Dry City. It was a city-state off the coast of northwest Ymir that prospered through maritime trade with West Erebonia, Northumbria, and Remiferia. It had a population of around 150,000 people, so it wasn't exactly a big place or anything. Because of that, the surrounding nations left it alone and let us live out our days in peace. We were pretty fortunate, all things considered, until about 20 years ago. That was when the Northumbrian disaster struck, and much of the Principality of Northumbria was turned to salt.
This is one of the first times that they actually talk about what the fuck happened in Northumbria to explain the Northern Jaegers. Yeah, a good chunk of the land got turned to salt.
And as a result, trade on the northwest shore was reduced to virtually nothing.
So...
Day after day, Dry's prosperity started to fade away. Still, it wasn't all bad. We had our fishing, our historic landmarks, our septium mine. We could make use of those to get trade going again, both to keep our state running and to help out Northumbria. In fact, the one who advocated that approach was the mayor, my grandfather.
So Crow's family were high up in July, to an extent.
He was a stubborn old bastard, but he had this wry sense of humor, and was well loved by everyone. I lost my mom and dad early, so he was also my only living relative.
The ups and downs of Crow's
Taught me
life.
just about everything a guy could know. He was like a mom, dad, and your old master rolled into one, I guess. Anyway, fast forward to 10 years. Out of nowhere, we received this proposal from the Erebonian government. They said they wanted to extend a railway line from Heimdall all the way to Dry. We relied on the sea for trade before, but there wasn't any reason to believe we couldn't benefit from being connected. The proposal drew overwhelming support from the city's council. Within a year, the city had all of its old life back and then some. The streets were more bustling than ever. But keep in mind, this was the result of huge amounts of imperial capital flowing into the city. Land and buildings we once treasured were bought up left and right. Everything became
Capitalism
investment.
happened.
People only cared about making money.
So July is like one of those, it's like one of those towns on the coastline here in England where there are holiday homes, which are basically just your normal homes. Usually, there's quite a few of these that get bought up by rich people who live in like London, and they decide, oh, I want a home in Cornwall, just as a second holiday home, and they've got the power to. But it means that those living in Cornwall suffer. That sort of.
Similar supposedly happened in Crossbell too, but unlike there, no opposition existed.
So that sort of logic.
My grandfather sensed something was off, and he tried what he could to get the situation under control. Then one day, someone blew up the railway line leading to Dry. Everyone demanded that it be repaired as quickly as possible. Everyone except the imperial government.
How
Instead,
convenient.
They panned our national security arrangements for being insufficient and threatened to withdraw all imperial capital. The city was left in an uproar like we'd never seen. Shares plummeted, and with no one able to ascertain the culprit's identity, chaos reigned.
Gee, I wonder if the imperial government had anything to do with it.
Chancellor Gileath Osborne, in his third year as representative of the imperial government, personally came to Dry. We then received a second proposal.
The restoration of the railway and its future security will be seen to by the Imperial Army. In return for our continued assistance in safekeeping, Dry will come under the wing of our glorious empire and attain even greater prosperity as a special economic zone.
The timing was too good to be true, really. Realizing this, my grandfather staunchly opposed the idea. He tried everything he could to convince the city's council to reject the offer. Unfortunately, once you taste the sweet fruit of prosperity, it's hard to want to go back. The council, made up of influential merchants and all their greed, jumped at the offer. And tempted by the elimination of customs, together with the tax breaks from being an SEZ, many of the citizens did too. And during all that, they conveniently found a suspect behind the railway incident, my grandfather. He loved Jirai more than anyone, and up till then, its people loved him too. And yet, virtually overnight, he found himself facing the wrath of both the city's council and the citizens alike. Left with no choice, he resigned from his position as mayor, and Jirai formally became part of the empire. Both of these things happened on the same exact day. That was 8 years ago. Naturally, everyone knew my grandfather wasn't the one who did it. They knew who was really responsible. They just turned a blind eye to the truth. See? I warned you. Just your run-of-the-mill sob story.
I don't know what to say, Crow.
Wayne, of course, bawling his eyes out.
Your grandfather.
One day, he just up and died. Once he resigned, the whole affair with the railway getting blown up was all but forgotten. He lived comfortably in retirement for about half a year, fell ill, and that was that. He just lost the will to go on, I guess. Like I said, he was the only family I had. I mean, I had plenty of friends even then, but I chose to leave it all behind. I was 13 at the time. I wandered the land, doing whatever I had to get by. That was when I met old Cayenne, who happily indulged my hatred for the Chancellor. And with his financial backing, I went out with the goal to find others who were just like me. That was the beginning of the Imperial Liberation Front. Gideon, Scarlet, and Vulcan were among those I recruited. I'd also met Vita then.
Of course, with the sorts of things Crow has gone through, Vita would put her fangs into him.
Below the city of Ortis, and there slept the Azure Knight Ordeal. One after another, I overcame the same trials you did with your friends, but alone.
This is something that people seem to forget when Crow talks about this. He did the same sort of stuff that Wayne did during the first game on his own. Vita didn't help.
I'd proven myself worthy.
Hence why she's not like a secondary contractor to Ordi. Because Crow did it on his own.
That was 3 years ago.
Stronger than
16.
that.
My preparations complete, I concealed my background and enrolled in a military academy near the capital. Everything I did for the sole purpose of taking the Chancellor's head. Come on now, what's with the face? You look sadder about all this than I do.
Yeah, I guess.
Being as easily saddened.
I'm not trying to tell you the Chancellor was evil or anything.
What?
Still, there's no denying that he managed to outwit my grandfather. And he may have lost, but Pop's always loved a good gamble. It's thanks to him that I'm pretty good at chess, card games, that kind of stuff. I'd say it's fairly normal for a student to want to avenge his master's defeat.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No
disagreements there on my end.
At the end
on
of
my
the
end,
day,
though.
There's no denying this country has problems, and the Chancellor's methods were making them worse. I studied those problems, worked out how to use the situation to my advantage, and then won the game with an all-or-nothing gamble. But when you think of how peaceful Jirai is now, I'd say I've got a duty to clear up the mess left behind by my game too, which means ending this war and restoring peace. So it's only when that's done that my game is truly over.
Crow gives Wayne head pats.
Okay? Like Rufus said, you need to think long and hard about what it is you're fighting for you, more than anyone else.
Yeah, but Crow.
Anyway, I think I've stuck around here for long enough. You're gonna be treated as a visitor. Well, sort of. It's about time for the higher-ups to head back to Heimdall, so go ahead and pass the time however you want.
However I want.
Conveniently flying past the window Wayne happens to be in, is a green airship, obviously owned by Rufus, because green, and on it contains, well, the camera pan, Cayenne, Rufus, and Vita, so they're not going to be here. How convenient, actually.
There'll be no guards outside your room, so if you want to try and escape, be my guest. Just keep in mind that some members of Ouroboros and Zephyr are on board too. Not to mention me, Scarlet, and Vulcan.
So see, that is true. They don't need guards to keep Wynn under control. They've got a lot of very strong people on the ship.
Get ready to take all of us on.
So...
Sounds fun.
Oh yeah, one more thing. There's this real cute visitor in the guest of honors room on the second floor. I think she'd perk right up if she saw you. So why not go pay her a visit? Just don't go making your girl jealous, okay?
But I'm not seeing it. Oh, whatever.
I wonder who he means. He said she's in the guest of honors room. Well, I can't waste much time here. I told everyone I'd definitely come back soon. Right now, I need to gather as much information as I can. I can make my choice after that. At least then, it'll be an informed one.
Wynn does this properly. Let's learn what we can before choosing to be idiotic. And so welcome to the intermission. Properly now. We're on the Pantacle. So, oh yeah, we have to use this map. So on this map we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 word exclamation marks. That means we've got to talk to 7 different people. We'll be heading from up to down just to save us some hassle.
I can sense someone inside.
Come on in if you like.
And so our first room contains Scarlet. We can tell because of her voice. I'm smarter than Falcon think, obviously.
Hello there, love. I'd heard you came on board yesterday, so I did wonder whether we would run into one another at some point.
Hello, Scarlet.
Of course, last time these two saw each other was when we beat her in a
Quite
fight.
a memorable day for both of us, wasn't it? There's no need to stand over there. Come and have a seat. I'll pour us some tea.
You really don't have to.
And completely ignoring Wynn.
I guess there's no harm in chatting for a bit.
In the process. So this means that it's time for some tea.
These tea leaves really are wonderful, aren't they?
And well, they have
Only
their
the best
tea.
for the airship of Erebonia's most powerful noble, I suppose.
Corn chips. Why are they called corn chips? They're crisps. For fuck's sake. Where the fuck did my mum go? Oh well. While they're doing that, I'm gonna have one of these. Oh.
I have to admit, the fragrance is like no tea I've ever had before. You're right, though. It makes sense if it's something Duke Cayenne personally chose.
Oh? I was under the impression that your family is a part of the nobility, too. Your father is a baron, isn't he?
He might be a noble, but generally barons aren't all that wealthy. We live a relatively modest lifestyle.
Oh, I wouldn't have thought it before, but maybe my family was actually more well-off than yours.
Ha. Wyn's broke.
And Scarlet, I heard she lost her old hometown when he went and built a railway through it.
What kind of family did you come from, then?
Oh, they weren't nobles, if that's what you're wondering. They were just relatively wealthy farmers.
Ah.
We were almost local celebrities in a way.
Oh, I see.
You're wondering how someone like me became a terrorist?
Osborne.
It's
That's
written
good.
all over your
It's
face.
good enough reason.
Well, I can't deny that I'm curious. I heard that you lost your hometown because Osborne built a railway through it.
Oh, did C tell you? No, I suppose it must have been V. He never.
So, I mean, what happened?
Some things are best left unsaid, I think. It's not as if knowing would somehow allow you to change things.
True.
I suppose.
You're so adorable, Reen. Now I know why C took a light. What do you say? How about you come and fight with me and the other big girls and boys? It'll be fun, I promise.
Please stop teasing me. Anyway, thank you for the tea. It wasn't just made with high quality leaves. It was brewed exceptionally too.
It looks like you didn't even touch it. Damn
You're very
graphics.
welcome.
Oh, actually, I may as well ask while I have the... Where did you learn how to use that weapon of yours anyway? It's pretty unique.
Oh, that? I suppose it can't hurt to tell you. The holy city of Arteria.
AKA Scarlet here used to work for the church.
The Arteria? Where the high seat of the Septian Church is?
Though obviously she turned her back on that to be a terrorist, so...
That's the one. It's called a Templar sword, and it's a traditional weapon in the church. A few years ago, I was studying to be a sister and was trained in how to use it there.
Surely you must be talking about some other church, right?
No, she's not.
There are sisters in the Septian Church who use weapons.
Oh, Reen, you, my friend, need to play these fun games called Trials in the Sky 2nd Chapter, Trials in the Sky the 3rd, and the Crossbow games. Well, Ashore, mainly. But, still.
There are more things in this world you don't know.
And of course, later on in this Coldsteel series as well.
Well,
can't comment on anything beyond that, but, you
I
know.
ended up returning to Erebonia before my training was complete.
Oh?
Anyway, that's all I'm telling you for now.
So, yeah. Scarlet here.
I'll give you the full story if you
Probably
decide to join. And if you choose not to join,
not so bad in
that
terms
way
of
has its own charms, I
weapon choice, because, let's face it, getting trained by the church itself, yeah, probably a good thing.
She ended up being a lot friendlier than I expected her to be. I wonder how much of what she was saying about being a sister was...
Wayne just needs to catch up on his law.
Chancellor. I wonder what she intends to do now that he's gone.
Yeah, the Imperial Liberation Front seem to definitely have the dilemma of, well, Osborne's dead, what do we do now? Other than just carry on being in the Noble Alliance.
Someone inside. Judging by the fact that S is in the next room.
Oh, my eye. I'm just gonna just...
It's open.
My apologies about my eye just then. It's something felt like something was in it. And so Falcon, of course, is in this room.
Finished talking with C?
His name's Crow, not C. And he's never going to be anything else for me.
Oh, I know his real name, but to us, he's always gonna be C. That's our
Fair
name.
enough.
You might be young, but each and every one of us look up to him and respect him. Anyway, take a seat. Got a whole lot of questions, I bet.
Does you asking that mean you're willing to answer them?
Depends on the question.
Just out of curiosity, how many members does the Imperial Liberation Front have left? I know the explosion back in the mine was staged, obviously.
Sure was. Anyway, 10, give or take. We lost most of our members as soon as the war started kicking into gear.
Wait, I don't remember if I actually looked this up or not, but Falcon's voice sounds familiar. Other than being Falcon, of course. I'm trying to place where.
Oh.
While this conversation goes on, I'm going to look this up.
Is that because the group's primary objective had been fulfilled?
Google.
Basically, yeah.
IMDb.
We all came from different
Why
backgrounds.
did I look up to Pikachu at one
The
point?
one thing we had in common was that we hated that bastard's guts. So after he'd kicked it, most of the guys didn't really have any reason for sticking around. Can't say I blame him for calling it quits.
Crow said that seeing this war through to its end was the last part of his game. Are the members who haven't left sticking around for similar reasons?
Interesting question. Can't speak for the others, but me, I don't really care how this war goes. I mean, I'm a former Jaeger who can hold his own in a fight. I've always lived for war.
Yeah, Falcon being here makes sense. He's gonna just do what he always does best.
And teaching those dumbasses in the provincial armies how to pilot soldats is a job worth doing, even if it's a pain.
Oh, let me the Japanese for years.
If we just
Falcon
I'll find
uncredited.
myself something else to do.
I see.
I couldn't find it. That's annoying me.
I can't defend the assassination of the Chancellor or what you did near Trista.
Oh, apparently it was Patrick Seitz, according to Behind the Voice actors, which means I would have heard him in. I won't go for. Oh, when was that? When would that have been? Actually, you know what? I'm both going old to new potentially, unless he's been in a shit ton of stuff prior. Oh god, he was. But I'm not sure if this is true because there's a lot of things that aren't verified.
Being oddly nice to us after all the shit we caused, don't you think?
The cycle of hatred's gone on for long enough. Crimes you've committed will never vanish, but no one wants this war to go on longer than it has to.
We're just stating the
It's
truth.
not as though you guys want war, do you?
That's enough of the niceties.
Wait, there were 5 wild arms? Huh.
You've got time to worry about us. Use it to worry about yourself. Whether you choose to side with the Alliance or go against them.
Oh, his voice is in World of Warcraft. Oh, right. Well, that's one place I would have recognised it then.
Like it or not.
How does one possibly be claimed to have been voicing in Naruto? Seriously.
Make sure to think long and hard before you decide. And if we end up as enemies again, show me what you got. On the battlefield, I mean.
Excuse me.
Oh, he was used for the few lines for the combat voices for Sin in Jazz in the Sky. Okay, okay, that's somewhere. That's for sure. Right, okay, that's not everything. I didn't play that one. That's explains it.
Think I might have been too harsh on the kid.
So I may not have been interested in this because more it's just Falcon being like, yeah, no, it is, and then just the.
He's probably perfect for the job.
Well, I'll tell you what it sounds like though. Because I'm beginning to think that it's not the case. I'm just thinking that through. Or I might be wrong on when a game came out. It was Mondo Savage, he was dead, of course. Oh yeah, obviously for Canyon in Factory.
It's not wrong though. I should be worrying about myself right now.
Back up to.
He seemed kind of different though, like he'd lost his spark.
Yeah, I'm thinking wrong. Oh, right. Down number 2. Ah, that makes sense.
His sole objective in life seemed to be to get revenge for his old Jaeger Corps killed by Osborne. Maybe he's just not sure what to do with himself now that he's done just that?
I don't know. I'm thinking wrong. I think my line of thinking's wrong. But you never know. Yeah, I think my thinking's wrong, because there's no way it's... Unless the version... Unless it's a version thing. Right, I think my heating has turned on.
Right.
But I'm keep looking. Like my apologies, because clearly I should just stop looking. Anyway, our next objective of talking to is as we get close to Blue Blanc. He's doing the whole I'm just bowing Blue Blanc thing.
What the? You're the Phantom Thief.
Congratulations, Speen. You're caught up to us. Please stop using Microsoft Edge and start using much better browsers like Firefox or dare I say Chrome?
And who?
No.
The furnishings are immaculate. The food and wine are positively
I'm barking up the wrong tree. Right, well, I was barking up the wrong tree on that. I think just because of similarities in voice patterns. Blue Blanc is being Blue Blanc, which means he's being absolutely glorious in terms of the words that he uses on his average day. He has a word-a-day calendar. I don't, so... Although, again, my webcam's in the wrong place.
You've been blessed with the rare chance to sit and chat one-on-one with the most beloved thief of our time.
And Enforcer number 10 of Ouroboros. I'm gonna sit like this now.
What the hell? I'll have a drink. Nothing alcoholic, though.
I might just purposely play a different game. It must be better now just to double check who the fuck voices certain characters and correctly then make sure IMDb and behind the voice actors knows.
Indeed, there are few even among royals.
Damn it, ruined all the jokes I was gonna make. Anyway.
Our shared love of beauty and fundamental difference of opinion on the nature of love, he forever remains an endless source of entertainment for me.
I suddenly feel very sorry for what happened down in Liberl. Sounds pretty amazing, though. I'd heard there were problems with orbital technology in southern Ereboni at the time, but I had no idea that was why.
If you want to know more, play the Sky games.
That magnificent floating city was quite the sight to behold, let me tell you. Oh, how I wish I could have shown.
This is why Falcon should release PlayStation versions of the Sky games, so that more people go, oh, it's the earlier entries of the series I like.
Does sound... Wait, why am I sitting here having a friendly discussion with a wanted...
The realization sets in.
So many interesting and unusual stories, I got completely caught up listening to them.
Ha ha! A thief of my caliber can steal much more than objects, Reed.
Like your genitals! Haha! I have stolen them. You want them back? Then you're going to have to figure out my clues. I learned this one from a cousin of mine known as the Whittler.
There. I was able to steal much of your time and your interest. Perhaps I stole your heart as well.
Rest assured that did not happen. Your stories were interesting, though, I'll admit.
You stole my heart, Blue Blanc.
By the way,
you can have it.
You wouldn't know where Prince Albert is now, would you? Last I checked, he wasn't actively fighting against the...
Ha ha! I imagine Duke Cayenne would welcome a man like the Prince with open arms into the Alliance, if he so wished to join. To my knowledge, he was always wary of the Chancellor himself. But I digress. I'm afraid not even I know where he is at the moment.
TLDR, he's doing something somewhere that
I'm inclined to believe that wherever he's hiding,
doesn't matter at this very second.
So the Courageous is missing too, then.
How could you lose an airship?
Although the Duke's got some nerve.
How? How do you lose a big airship? That's impossible. For starters, you need to either high expert level arts or magic. That would probably get shit done. But and then again, I guess it's just fast enough. Right, they'll just go around Erebonia at such speed that it could be invisible to the naked eye.
Was brought about by numerous families of some standing backing potential successors to the throne. Emperor Drykles, as a late arrival to the war, was a mere exception to the rule. I wonder, does Prince Oliver think himself as the second coming of Drykles?
So that means at some point they're all just going to be brawling, and then in comes Oliver with a steel chair, batters them with a steel chair really hard, stiff chair shot, and then maybe another stiff chair shot just for good measure on Blue Blanc. Flashback to back in Heimdall.
But I decided to place my hopes in you. We believed then, as we still do, that one day you all will be a great light that can push back the darkness of this country.
I don't think he does. From what I can tell, he intends to try and end this war in a slightly different way from Drykles.
Fuck all of you nukes all of Erebonia. That'd be a different way. No one can have it. I think that would be a fun one. Fun way for it to just end, but yeah, no.
It helped me work through things in my head a bit.
And he's put the blast on.
I'm pleased to hear it. I will be waiting at the edge of my seat to hear which path you choose. Join us, and you'll be warmly welcome. Naturally, I'm fascinated by you as the Ashen Knight's pilot, but I'm even more fascinated with that brute strength of yours. I would love a chance to see the power of an ogre up close.
I doubt it's half as interesting as what you're thinking. Anyway, if you'll excuse me.
To be fair, but it belongs in an organisation full of people that have stupid power-ups of proof that they're not even trying half the time. Anyway, next room.
I wonder who's in here.
We got a visitor?
Come on in.
Excuse me.
Of course, Leo and Senno can sense Ween through the door.
Figured it was you. Sup?
Have a seat. Bourbon? I suppose not.
Yeah, I really shouldn't. How come you guys are being so friendly, though? I mean, we're on opposing sides and all.
Why wouldn't we be? It's not like we're on a battlefield right now.
There he goes, through and through there.
Trying to cut some throats one day than sitting in a bar with the same guys the next.
Of course, if you would rather fight with us, that can be arranged.
Ween is then seen careening out of a window and falling to his death.
I shall have to politely decline. For one thing, I don't think I'd stand the slightest chance of taking you two down.
Hey now, no need to be so pessimistic. He seems to think pretty highly of you. Have a little more faith in yourself.
At the very least, you'd be able to give us a real fight in your divine night. Not that I'd have any intention of losing.
And Senna would probably have like a travel to planned for.
I'm pretty sure he's dead serious.
For the Divine Knight, just in the case.
Taking out tanks, they probably have their ways.
So, anti-tank weaponry might be a way to go. Who knows?
Oh yeah? Ranking 72nd for the year in an academy full of big shot students, ain't it?
Oh, this is referring to Fee. I was thinking, wait, why is Ween telling them about his academics?
Brings a tear to my eye to see our little Fee putting her heart into her education.
And don't forget, she was the youngest of her classmates, too. The boss was right when he said that she can do anything she puts her mind to.
You got that right. Maybe joining the gardening club will make her a bit more ladylike, too. Oh,
Wishful thinking aside.
She's still young. She has plenty of time to develop on that front if she so pleases.
Yeah. These two really
adore her, like two proud parents talking about their child. And yet, if you don't mind me asking, why did you leave Fee behind? After your boss was killed in a battle with his sworn enemy, I mean.
Oh, Fee told you about that. Sounds like you're close.
Now, for the players, if you've been playing if you played the crossbow games, you'll already know what this encounter was, because mentions of this being the case was the case with the Red Constellation, from the Red Constellation side of things. And just like any parents can be, they can be very overprotective of who they view as their child. Now, thankfully for us, in our playthrough, we haven't tried making any moves on Fee, but...
No, of course not. I wouldn't dream of it.
Still
I
just...
want to know why you'd abandon her when she obviously means so much to the two of you. She thought of you all like family. Why did you leave her all alone?
Well, we had our reasons. Let's leave it at that.
Cough, you won't find out the cost of free cough. Damn this winter season, I have this cough developing when in my way of teasing things that occur in the next game.
Be sure to tell Fee our reasons in due time. Until then.
Alright. I can accept that. Still, she's our classmate. And we feel that way about her just as strongly as you do.
Oh, you're gonna want to fight them over that? I mean, again, the window is right there.
Fighting words right there.
Still, we'll remember you said that. Returning to the matter at hand.
They care more about whether or not Ween's trying to whiz Fee up than anything else right now. Hopefully.
Come on, spit it out.
They really are like two overprotective fathers.
Damn it, Fee, why do you have two gay dads?
I was hoping to get a bit more
Well,
than all we did.
anyway, that stuff over and done with.
At least now I know that the guys in Zephyr really cared about her, so it wasn't a complete waste of time.
Oh, I think that was my door. Well, anyways, I believe that's for other things I need to think about. Ween has a heart attack nearby this room, so clearly that must mean it's obviously the Grim Reaper themselves about to reap Ween's soul for being an arsehole. Anyway, actually no, it's worse than that, it's McBurn.
Oh, it's you. Forgot you were staying here too.
Yeah. What was that? It's gone now anyway. Maybe it was just my med.
So what's up? I couldn't give a damn whether you joined the Alliance or not, to be honest.
Oh, I didn't come here for any specific reason.
Interesting. You mixed by any chance?
Could I sit and talk to you for...
What a...
McBurn, it's just like me. Oh god, someone wants to talk to me.
So,
No.
What do you want to ask?
When we ran into each other back near Berea Hard, something about being mixed?
Oh, that?
I didn't have the chance to figure out what that meant at the time. But what did you mean?
I don't know if I can even explain that one. It's just something you feel. What we've got mixed into us is obviously different in strength and nature. It's kind of hard to put into words.
Yeah, seems that way. I know you're not trying to confuse me on purpose, but I really can't wrap my head around what you're saying.
Just watch.
McBurn being mixed means he's able to just conjure fire just willy-nilly. He doesn't need an ordnance system at all. He just has command over fire.
There's no trick to it. I'm not using an ornament, it's not magic, and I'm not using an artifact either. I just will fire to appear, and it does.
So it's just
Somehow.
a totally unnatural ability.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Something that just gives you results without the processes you'd usually have to go through to obtain them. You've got one too, right?
Well, true. That power of mine wasn't something I gained from...
So Ween is potentially mixed somehow, some way, with the ability to use his ogre form coming out of that.
It's the same kind of thing. People who can do things like that usually have something mixed into them.
What it may be...
Mixed into their body itself.
No idea at this point in time, but you'll learn the answer in due time. And of course, yes, it is different to the church stigmas, where they get power through those stigmas, and thereby they have the power of God and anime on their side.
Looks like
But
a pretty small part of it in your case, though.
Oh.
for Wayne, he's only somewhat unnatural.
There, huh? Anyway, I couldn't tell you how, where, or why whatever it is got mixed into you. Sure you've got more questions, but sorry. I can't answer.
So, due to the small amount of mixedness in Wayne, it means that he only has a smaller power compared to McBurn, who is fully mixed and is definitely a lot more powerful.
Good for you, I guess. So, we done now?
Yeah. Thanks for your time. Oh yeah. So how much of you is unnatural?
Oh, I skipped ahead of the script there.
All of me.
Well, that's certainly something.
Circumstances seem very different from mine.
So McBurn probably one day just willed himself into existence somehow, or someone willed him into existence, and then Ouroboros snapped him up immediately, or something. Who knows?
One day.
Yeah, who cares about that? Let's go into this room. Who could possibly be in it? This is only like, it's like a flip of the coin at this point, isn't it?
Given the circumstances, I imagine it must be one of the people who fought us in Ymir.
Wayne.
It's open.
Wayne just decides to waltz on into a room that...
It's empty. Weird. I could have sworn I sent someone in here.
What do you think of the room over? But anyway, Wayne walks into a room unprovoked where there is a sleeping little girl in. Wayne, don't do it, please. Oh wait, sorry, one type of game. Wayne won't obviously do something like that. This is Wayne Schwartz we're talking about, serial head patter. Head pat aside, he ain't gonna do anything that bad.
Looking at her lying down like this, she really is just a child. Maybe 12 or 13? Somewhere close to Milliam's age. How did a kid like this end up fighting with the Alliance?
Who are you? Who's calling me?
Is she talking in her sleep?
And she wakes up. Waking up to some stranger staring at you unblinkedly.
Situation assessed. Location is a room inside the guest area of the Pentagram. 9 hours have passed since initial loss of consciousness.
9 hours?
She's sleeping comfortably enough here. Then again, wait.
Well, this situation's occurring. I'm just gonna leave now. Wayne, you're on your own.
Why are you here? Unless my memories have been tampered with.
Oh, it was. Sorry. If I'd known you were sleeping, I wouldn't have come in here.
So you're an intruder then. Clown Soleus.
Wayne is rightfully about to get his ass handed to him.
No, it was just an innocent mistake. Whoa, can we at least talk about this?
No mercy for trespassers.
And Wayne's dead. Oh well, anyways, right, well, that's the end of the game, guys. Sorry about that. Obviously, no, he's still alive. That would be very anticlimactic.
So you claim to have no inappropriate motives for sneaking into this room.
Because it's Wayne, we actually could easily believe that he would do that.
Really didn't.
To really not have any inappropriateness.
Once you walked in, you fell victim to temptation and chose to act in accordance to your desires.
No, I didn't.
What else we had for wearing that kind of outfit?
How many times do I have to explain
Anyway.
what happened before you'll believe
Obviously,
me?
no, that's not the case.
I was making a joke. Had you any intention of harming me, Clown Soleus would have attacked you.
So, oh, okay, so they cut to black so that Wayne just collapsed on his own accord.
Oh, then what was all that for? Oh, whatever. I suppose it's my own fault for coming in without permission. Anyway, I've cleared my name.
If that's what you want to do, you didn't come to ask me anything then?
Well, no. Honestly, I didn't even know you were in here. I do have a lot I'd like to ask you, though. And just as much I'd like to say... Okay, if you're offering, what are your reasons for helping the Alliance? Why do you have a puppet just like Just who?
The answer to your first question is, I was ordered to do so.
Yep. she's on loan from.
As all information regarding
She
Count
has
Silius is
been
confidential, I
applied
am
to
unable
the
to answer
Noble
your second
Alliance.
question. And as for the last one, I am unable to fully comprehend the depth of your question.
You abducted my sister and the princess. Whether you were ordered to or not doesn't change that. And it's not something I think I can forgive. Sorry, that was probably too harsh.
We knew, meanie.
I can't pretend to know anything about your circumstances, but I do know that you didn't abduct them of your own free will. Anyway, with that said, I'll be going. Maybe we'll have a chance to talk again sometime.
The Black Workshop.
Altina somewhat gives us an answer to something, and that is the Black Workshop.
That's the name of the place I belong to. It was they who loaned me to the Noble Alliance. Unless you choose to join the Alliance, that is the most I'm able to disclose to you.
The name doesn't ring any bell. And loaned? That makes it sound... I suppose it's none of my business.
So Altina belongs to the Black Workshop, whoever they may be, and
thanks for telling me.
Ultimately, that doesn't matter in this game whatsoever.
I'll be sure to remember that name.
I can't see doing so holding any real purpose for you. Incidentally, did you have any untoward motives behind what you just did?
No, I did not.
And of course, he gets his head pats in on Altina. No, Ween, don't head pat Altina.
The Black Workshop sounds like stuff worth remembering.
That makes it sound like head patting's a lot worse than anything else. But yes, Altina's on loan from the Black Workshop, so her allegiances are to them first and foremost, but the Noble Alliance obviously is the priority at the moment. And of course, we saved the best till last. Duvalie in her casual outfit.
Having to travel to and from Crossbell like this is utterly exhausting.
Meanwhile, Duvalie getting her ass handed to her in Crossbell.
I'm doing this for the sake of my lord.
AKA they had to implement this stuff because they had Duvalie in like a bunch of stuff in Crossbell, so it's like, yeah.
Who goes there? Wait, you're the Ashen Knight's pilot.
I remember you now. You're with Ouroboros, Duvalie the Swift.
Have you no shame? Is it perhaps normal for you to barge into a lady's room unannounced? You and that Arseid are only as bad as each other, I swear. Learn your place!
Actually, I just walked through the door normally. I should have probably knocked before I came in.
Yeah, Ween, you asshole. Remember to knock. Anyway, Duvalie quickly gets into her armor, and yeah.
So, now that we're understood, what do you want? Have you come to tell me that you'll be fighting on our side after all?
Can you not jump to conclusions? Besides, it's not like you're working with the Alliance because you agree with what they're doing.
Oh, naturally. Lady Clotilde seems to have a purpose of her own. But for my part, I have no obligation to help the Alliance whatsoever.
AKA she could just dip and go, fuck this, I'm out.
I'm simply cooperating because I was told doing so was necessary to the plan.
And Ween won't understand much because it would appear that this is part of Ouroboros' plan in terms of what they're doing in Erebonia, comparatively to what they've been currently doing in Gospel and what they did in the Sky Games in
Just
Labelle.
so we're clear, that lord you keep mentioning isn't Vita Clotilde.
No. She may be an Anguis like her, but my lord is the seventh.
Meanwhile, in Crossbell, once dealing with these fucking Knights of the 7th Anguis, the SSS get their asses handed to her repeatedly to the point where several controllers could easily be broken. At least that was my experience in Ashore when dealing with the 7th Anguis. If you want to let me know on your opinions on how that fight went, for those that have played Ashore, please let me know. I can't be the only one that sucked at that fight.
She is the leader of the Stallritter, the great light which guides us. Gallant yet beautiful, proud yet merciful. She's the strongest knight.
Simp. Duvalie is a massive simp for the 7th Anguis. Of course, we, the player, if you play Crossbow, already know that this is Arya mode. But Reen obviously has no knowledge of
the
this.
head of the Stall Ritter is also a woman?
She certainly is.
Of course.
And if you must know, 100 swordsmen of your strength couldn't hope to equal her.
Fair enough.
No, 1,000.
However, exaggeration aside.
Be able to so much as scratch her.
Okay, I get it. Still, if she's a woman who could be Laura already noticed the similarity between the Eisenritter and Stallritter.
I see. Incidentally, I may have already mentioned her title, but one can never share my lord's glory too many times. She's known as the Steel Maiden.
The Steel Maiden.
And with that, I believe that's enough idle chatter. If you didn't come to tell me that you'll be fighting on our side, then we remain enemies. As such, we shouldn't be standing here being friendly.
Definitely don't approach to what Jaegers have, but hey, you know.
I suppose you're right. Sorry for bothering you. Actually, there was one more thing I wanted to ask. You're not an enforcer like Blue Blanc or Sharon, right? Is there any reason for that?
Just had to. Enforcers are selected by the society's leader. The Grand
Yay, lore.
And in order to be selected as one and given a number, that person needs to be burdened by some kind of...
She was probably told this by Louve, who is the only other person to mention this whole some kind of darkness thing at this point, I believe. I don't think anyone said it in Crossbell, or MIS did bad localization.
But just so we're clear, there is no correlation between having a number and one's strength, alright? I'm quite strong.
But McBurn.
I didn't say you weren't, but it makes perfect sense. You don't strike me. You're refreshingly sincere. Like someone who hates anything that strays from...
Duverly is a paladin who is understandingly doing exactly as she's meant to do so that she doesn't lose her powers. And flustered.
Thank you not to spout such nauseating drivel in my presence. Now get the hell out of my room!
That bundle of cuteness known as Duverly now talked to, we've talked to everyone.
She chased me out.
Maybe I'm a simp for Duverly.
I'm really curious.
Who knows? Point being,
Does she really have some connection with the Lance Maiden?
potential. That's all I'll say.
Perhaps even with the woman who helped us during our August fields.
Would make sense. You would have time to do that while things are still being set up in Crossbell. So, anyway, now with all of that dealt with, there are only one thing left to do, and that's head this way, because I head the wrong way. Also, you may notice Blanc is still there. He's just wearing a mask instead. But once we've done this, Blanc will be gone, so...
This should be the guest of honor's room. Time to see who's inside.
Knocking on the door will mean that you'll no longer be able to explore the guest area
Yes?
at this point.
Please come in.
And the voice reveals to us that it's Alfin in the guest room. Well, the guest of honor room. So, this is where they decided to keep Alfin for whatever purposes that would grant them at this point in time. Yay, it's Alfin, woo, yay. And all the other things to be said.
But I didn't dare to hope.
It's you. It's really, really you.
Why did my A button stop working?
Your Highness.
What are...
Yay! A loving embrace.
This all feels like a dream. Please don't tell me it is. I don't think my heart could handle the disappointment.
It's really me. I'm so glad you're safe. I'm so sorry that you had to go through all of this. If I hadn't been so weak and careless, none of this would have happened.
You mustn't apologize. Simply being able to see you again is more than I could have hoped for.
You must have been
Headbands.
really lonely. I'm here for you now, though. I might not be the most reliable person for the job, but I'm not going anywhere.
So that's what you've been doing all this time?
Wayne recaps the first act of the game.
I was happy all of us were able to get back together again, but then yesterday, I ended up being invited onto the ship by Duke Cayenne. That's why I'm here.
Actually, is this part even considered an intermission? Because there is the bell. No, wait, no, that's the intermission, isn't it? No, that's the advertisement. Ignore me. I'm thinking of a later bit of the game.
Noisier than usual yesterday. Strange as it may sound, I suppose I owe the Duke my thanks. After all, if not for his invitation, we wouldn't have been able to find each other like this.
Sorry. I wish I could say I'd snuck on board to rescue you or something. Incidentally, I hesitate to ask, but...
You want to know where Elise is, right? She's not on this ship, I'm afraid.
Darn.
I can't say for sure, but I believe she's been taken to the same place as my parents.
So at least she's safe.
I'm sure it isn't news to you that my mother, father, and Cedric have been imprisoned somewhere. And apparently, they've chosen Elise to be my family's attendant. So it's likely wherever they've been taken, she's right there with them.
Well, that saves a bit of hassle at the very least.
I'm not sure whether to feel relieved or what.
I can hardly blame you. I feel exactly...
But why were you alone imprisoned on this airship? Surely there must be some reason.
That was Duke Cayenne's decision. I believe he's using me to suppress potential rebellion in areas
It's a sound reason to do so.
by having me address the people and calm them down.
Forgive me for
Having the actual Imperial family speaking on behalf of the Noble Alliance, people can be like, oh, okay, so the Imperial family is on the side of the Noble Alliance.
Mind doing it, honestly. It's a simple enough task. People all across Erebonia are uneasy about this war. And as princess, I should do what's within my power to help calm their nerves.
But at the expense of your own feelings? I know you want to help, but you can't be happy about being used as the Alliance's puppet to Plus, you've been forcibly separated from your family, your best friend. You don't even know where they are.
Oh, I got the feeling to sneeze.
But...
Ugh, damn it.
Oh, why even bother? You see through everything, don't you, Reen? Anyway, putting my feelings aside, I presume you don't intend to actually do whatever Duke Cayenne tells you to.
Well, I'm really not sure what to do. The longer this war goes on, the more people will suffer because of it. But even so, I don't feel as though siding with the Noble Alliance is the right course of action. And the same goes for the Imperial Army. I can't in good conscience side with them either.
I see.
There's so much to think about. You're being used as a puppet against your will? And then Elise is imprisoned somewhere too, being forced to do who knows what. I have to act somehow to change things.
Reen assumes the worst.
That wasn't your fault, Reen.
Ever since I was taken in by my family all those years ago, I've tried to be a brother figure to her. I became the person I am today because of them. They've always loved me like they would a real son. You saw that power of mine, didn't you?
Well,
Back when I was a kid, something just like that happened. I ended up using it right there in front of her. She should have been terrified of me. But if she was, she never once let it show. And that was when I swore, deep within my heart, no matter what happened, no matter what I had to do, I would.
And that was the beginning of his sister complex.
And that's why I can't help but wonder. I can't help but wonder if now's the time to live up to that promise. If I should put her before everything else, even if I have to ignore or outright betray my own personal beliefs in the process.
Reen.
Moving my leg. My knee clicks a whole bunch.
Little sister, I order you to get a hold of yourself.
Honorary little sister, Alfred.
Your Highness.
I know Elise far better than you think I do. In fact, I'd even go as far as to say I know her better than you.
Yeah.
Reen, she's already told me so much about what happened 8 years ago. She told me about how that snowy day was what inspired you to take up the sword. She told me how traumatic that moment was for you. How what happened stays with you even now. And she even told me that, while she hated how she felt the tiniest bit happy because of it. Because it meant that your attention, your guilt, and your sense of responsibility were directed towards her and no one else.
Fucking whore.
And she knew more than anyone how selfish that was.
I want me all to myself. Meh.
For choosing to go to Saint Estrella, but her main reason was that she didn't want you to keep feeling guilty because of her, more than anything else. She wanted to free you of your burdens. You should know, when you joined Thor's and were making new friends, and you finally seemed to be moving forward, she felt a little jealous, and even a little lonely at being left.
Apologies for the yawn.
But she was so very,
I've
very
been
happy
up
for you too.
quite early this morning.
So please,
For once.
please don't use Elise to
So
justify
I might actually fall asleep at a time I don't want to fall asleep. Oh god, my body is still probably.
She wants you.
Oh hey, this is quite a different perspective to that one seen in Godzilla 1. I'm actually gonna have to stand up. My leg is. Oh, something is wrong with my leg. Function, damn you!
I thought I was trying to protect her, and it's been the other way around since
Remember
the
me
start.
just shaking the leg.
And that's not just true for her either. Mom, Dad, Master Ka-Fi.
Okay, no, I'm just gonna have to sing this script. Okay, my leg hurts. That's for sure.
They've been so. I think I finally understand what I've been lacking inside of me all this
Flashback to Celtic. Flashback to Nord.
I'm so focused on trying to protect others, I never stopped to think about how relationships go both ways. Others try to support me just like I try to support them, and I have as much of an effect on them as they do on me. How did I not realize before now? I'm sorry, Master. I think you gave me that intermediate scroll a bit too soon.
Wayne looks deep inside himself.
What? Better to realize late than never, I suppose. Because now I finally feel like I'm ready. As long as I keep that fact in mind, I won't lose control again.
I think I need to put my weight on my other side of my body for a moment. And now, Wayne is now ready to use spirit unification when the time comes. That's him going into his ogre form. I have to question, how the hell do people do like 6, 10, and how do people even do subathons? I don't get that. Also, it's kind of implying that it's like, hey guys, you want to see me sub? Like, why do that to yourself? Obviously, it's for the purposes of money, but you know.
So?
Outfit is all flustered.
I wouldn't want to keep my classmates waiting any longer than I already have.
Well, with this new bit of resolve.
I was rather hoping we could stay like this a little while longer. But I suppose all good things have to come to an end. Take care of yourself, Reem. I'll leave Elisa's rescue to you, no matter what it takes, please. Why are you shaking your head?
I said it's time we get going, didn't I? There's no way I'm leaving my sister's best friend imprisoned in a place like this. I will get the two of us off this ship. So stay close to me.
Right.
Yay! We're doing the whole rescue thing. And so Princess Elfin has now joined the party. New party member, Princess Elfin. Actually does have crafts and even a weapon she can use.
Do you have an escape plan?
Just not in this bit.
Valimar, the Ashen Knight, is on the deck. He's chained up there. But if we can get to him, I'm sure we can find some way to use him to get away from here. First, though, we need to find a way to get out of this part of the ship without anyone noticing.
Alright then. I never imagined I'd be running away from here with you at my side. Elise is going to be so envious.
Anyway, let's get going.
Okay, so now with Alphen in our party, we can't really do much in terms of anything. She doesn't have any S-breaks or crafts, as she doesn't actually have a weapon to use. But she does have an ornament, which has Pandora, a very good offensive art using Master Quartz that we do not, unfortunately, we do not get the moment we do this segment. She also gets things like Seraph, which gives Shining and Seraphic Wing, Heal, Heat Up, Airstrike Heart, Impassion, EP Cut 2, and Analyze. AKA, she has some arts, and she can use. Impassion, Heat Up, that's for getting Reen to have more CP. Tear and Seraphic Wing is for the purposes of healing. And having Shining means that she can increase Reen's evasion. Actually, now that we actually are... Oh,
there are a lot of very strong people here, so try to keep your voice down.
What very strong people? Blue Bonk's no longer there. Okay, so one thing I should probably do is make sure Reen is equipped properly. Braveheart is the accessory we got earlier. Gives some health, some strength, and some crit chance. Passion Leggings gives some better strength stuff, but presents freeze. I'm going to put that on Reen for the moment. Alphen has Holy Sphere, means she can't be deathblowed. Outside of that, you can't change her armor at all in the slightest, or her ordnance, so very much a guest character through and through. Thankfully, in Reen's womb, it turns out that there was an air vent.
It's a vent.
Well, that's convenient. Might it lead to somewhere else on the ship, you think?
Most likely.
Oh, I forgot how ugly I can look when I don't have facial hair. Oh, please, beard, grow back.
Nonsense, Reen. Of course you can.
It's going to be all dark inside, and probably filthy.
A little bit of darkness and dirt never hurt anyone.
Princess
Traveled
Alphen.
through some fairly narrow underground passages when escaping from Heimdall, too. All right? How about I go first? I'm smaller than you, after all.
Reen, realizing the potential of seeing the up the skirt of Princess Alphen, is refusing that.
Well, as long as you're all right with it. But I'll be going first. Like I said before, just stay close to me.
All right, then.
You'd think a princess would be more mindful when she's wearing a dress.
Oh, Reen. Damn it. There was just little thinking that the turbo pump would actually work.
It's not dirty at all in here.
Maybe it's because the ship's newly built?
Oh, there's a corner.
We must be past the guest area then.
And into the passageway. Okay, game, didn't need to hear that stuff. Obviously, that was Alvin getting out of the vent, but still.
Looks like we're in the clear for that part of the ship, at least.
My, that was intense. It's like I've stepped right into the world of one of those spy novels that are so popular these days.
Anyway, here's hoping we can make it to the deck without getting caught.
Before we can even finish his sentence...
What is it?
Soldiers are coming this way. Keep a safe distance and...
It feels like the closest thing we have to someone ordinary around here is that kid. It's pretty nerve-wracking having to be around them all.
I just wish I could get to see Princess Alphen in person.
Well, this professional army soldier must have wished for quite well on a shooting star, because it's Princess Alphen in the flesh.
Good luck, Reen.
Enter battle.
My turn. Second form. Damn.
Oh crap, of course I get a phone call. Be right back. Hello? I'm assuming that means she's asleep. Alright. Right. Just to let you know, Okay. Right. That's sorted out. Good news on that end. That means... Oh, okay. Right. I don't know if there were any viewers. If there were, then apologies. I had a phone call that caused me to no longer be able to be streaming at the... Oh no, to be on the stream. Was actually an important phone call, so I had to answer it. Otherwise, I'd probably be getting comment. I'd probably get moaned at, but you know. So, anyways, as I said earlier, Alvin can't attack, but she does have art, which is good news for us because that means we can either use art to do some good stuff, or we can use Impassion and give Reen more CP. I'm going to use Shining on Reen, because if Reen goes down, we're fucked. Better for him to be able to dodge.
Too slow. Here I go.
Are they still both in Gale Wench? They are. Good. Right, we don't get burst in this bit because obviously there's only the two of them, so... I have no way of stealing that. Oh, thank goodness for Auto Fearless.
I won't give up. Second form. Gale! Now's our chance. Curse you.
That almost went horribly wrong.
That wraps things up in a neat little bow.
They're strong. Are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine. Thanks to you. Let's be going. I'll be sure to stay very close to you.
Good. All right, here we go.
Thankfully, just behind these two guards we knocked out is a ordnance charging station that we're able to utilize. So Reen thankfully ain't going to die the moment we stub our toe into any corner. You can also customize our weapon if we didn't already, but there's nothing we can do on that front. And I'm not sure if there's really anything we can add in terms of quartz. You know, yeah, we have a tattoo equipped, so that's useless then. Action 2 would do something at least. Okay, there's not really anything to really add to Reen's Webitar at this point, so... Try and aim to get advantages on the enemies while doing all this, because obviously it'd be bad if you didn't.
It's my turn. Arcus, activate.
Here I go.
It's my turn.
My turn. There.
Well, I ain't going to hit unless one doesn't die. Nah, both live. No, both die. I mean, but I got the one way round. This also is nice because we're going to be getting some experience for Reen.
Mechanical monsters?
Yeah.
They're called archaisms.
Celestial bomb in this chest and some crates we can destroy. We got a tear bomb out of one of them. And in this room is another, well, actually it's a red chest that gives us an orange cape, which, while Alphen is thinking of that idea, I'm putting the orange cape. Yeah, I lose its stats a little bit, but I must put that.
Probably not. We'll have to do this the long way.
Alphen considered for a second the idea of just jumping out a window, but obviously that would be a bad idea. So, obviously, let's not do that. This enemy does the smart thing of being in area that's a little harder to get around. Ooh, the doggies.
Burn to ash. Fall.
What are they weak to? They're weak to fire. Let's hit those.
My turn.
Rain.
It's my turn.
Here I go. Ha! Let's move. Ha!
It's my turn.
We can do that. Because he's going to get another attack in, so he'll win, and then
Thanks. Here I go.
no murder. Oh, and we cannot overdrive with Alfin. I guess just due to the fact that Alfin doesn't have a weapon, that's a good reason to not include that. But it does mean that we don't get overdrive in any encounter that we may be doing. Anyway, getting to this point gives us a cutscene where a bunch of soldiers have made their way to Ween and Alfin.
2 soldiers, 1 military monster. Stay back, please.
Right.
Bring it on. My turn. Second form. Gale.
Gladly.
That was a delay on the sound. Oh well. Obviously, there is a built-in mechanic where they target Ween more so, because... What, even missed one of them? That sucked. Ah, they have Tira. That kind of sucks.
Gladly.
Thanks. Here I go. Second form. Gale. How careless. Too slow. Huh.
Thanks, game.
My turn.
Let's move. Second form. Gale. Too slow.
Gladly. Arcus, activate.
My turn. Sit.
There we go.
Curse you.
That wraps things up in a neat little bow.
I'm shocked how skilled you are with arts.
You are? You're so sweet.
Lovely compliments there to Alfin. That was not great here. Damn it, nothing again. Oh, right, okay. I should probably, Table Ween. EP charge to Alfin. Because there are still enemies we need to fight. There's an enemy that sees us through the door. I swear some of these mechs.
Good luck, Reed.
Here I go. Second form. Gale.
It's my turn. Arcus, activate.
Let's move.
Damn, missing.
My turn.
Right. Arcus, activate.
Too slow. That's the power of the 8 leaves.
And with the power of the 8 leaves, we kill more of the machines. Yay! Inside this room there is nothing but crates, so unless the crates actually give us something, this room is completely useless. Great! It's completely useless. No one of these fuckers, but you can run through the door and just skip them completely.
A staircase.
Hopefully this will lead to the deck.
And the game will give us one of these ornament charging stations here at this end, so we don't have to run all the way back. Thankfully. So, nonetheless, the moment you enter this room, be prepared for a boss fight. Somewhat of a boss fight, actually.
How did you get ahead of us?
Well, she ain't Duvalie the Swift for nothing. And also, all boss do have teleportations.
I admit I wasn't actually expecting you to join me, but not even in my wildest dreams did I imagine you'd try to flee the ship with our dearest princess.
So they knew that we would do a daring escape, but the daring rescue... That was to be not
I
as
wasn't
expected.
expecting to run into either of you on the way out either. You guys aren't called the Phantom Thief and Duvalie the Swift for nothing.
Trying to praise us won't get us to let you pass.
Ha-ha! Princess Alfin is one of this nation's most precious treasures. You surely couldn't have thought that I, the Phantom Thief, would allow you to steal her from us.
There is no honor among thieves, Blue Blanc. You should know
I'm
that.
not being stolen by anyone. If anything, I was the one who whispered sweet nothings into his ear and tempted him to run away with me.
Oh my! What a passionate young lady you are. Forgive me for being so presumptuous. You, no doubt, taken after your brother in more ways than one.
I'd like to believe that I'm not quite the oddball he is. I couldn't agree more with his belief that love is the truest form of beauty, however.
Really now?
While Blue Blanc and Alfin hit it off really well,
They're actually hitting it off.
Wayne and Duvalie have much more pressing matters to deal with.
You're an enforcer, Blue Blanc.
I think the number of enforcers who take things seriously are in the minority, I'm afraid.
Oh, hold on, let's just check. Sky spoilers. Yeah, actually, out of the ones that we know of at this point in the timeline, yeah, actually.
Still, you're right about us having.
And obviously, I'm not counting ones that have abandoned Ouroboros for good, like Joshua, but.
I find the many mysteries surrounding you fascinating, but there's
But
a certain
nonetheless.
appeal to them remaining forever unsolved too.
You may think yourself a swordsman, but allow me to show you how little you truly know. Are you sure you can do this?
I'll be fine. Don't worry about me. The gap in skill between us is small enough that I should be able to force our way through.
Oh?
Small? The difference in our strength is like night and day, you boor. And if you're foolish enough to be unable to see that, then allow me to make you realize your folly and pay for your arrogance.
The one being foolish and arrogant is you.
Wayne decides it's the perfect time to actually now use his power up.
My.
Green?
I owe me being able to do this to you, Your Highness. Now, everyone who's done anything to aid us in coming this far deserves thanks.
What's happened to him?
Could this be your ogre power?
8 leaves, 1 blade school, intermediate level. I, Ring Schwarzer, will be your opponent.
Welcome to the using of spirit unification. The word I think means he has an increased aspects to him other than just the stat boosts. Of course, Blue Bonk goes for the approach of summoning stuff, and all of the skills now are boosted to upgraded forms. We've got Fatal Autumn Leaf Cutter, Fatal Arc / Arcane Gale, Class S plus ×2. That is great news. For only 50 CP, that's actually not bad. And Fatal Flame Slash. No, not Slash, Flame Impact. And of course, Assure Flame Slash is just Assure Flame Slash. It's not really got an upgrade of its own accord. So yes, and you're only using Reen in this fight. There is no Alphen to be had.
Let's move.
Can I encompass those two and the enemy? Yeah, I can. I can.
Let's move.
What?
Let's move.
Not good enough.
My turn.
Let's just show Flame Slash Blue Bonk just for the fun of it. And doing that ends the battle because we are not outright beating them, but that's not the point of the fight.
Splendid! Simply splendid! So you finally conquered your power and made it your own, did you? You continue to fascinate me, Reen.
Reen,
Forgive me, Your Highness.
what for?
Goodness!
Wait just a damn minute!
Whoa, what's going on here?
Falcon and Scarlet are late to the pie, and so they choose to just not follow.
We'll make our way directly to the deck. Are you all right, Your Highness?
Yes, perfectly. My heart just feels as if it's about to burst.
Oh no, Alfred, no, don't have a heart attack.
Come on, is now really the time to be flirting with each other?
Senna here does have a point.
You're here too.
You got some real guts, kiddo, but you ain't getting past us.
Zephyr's guard shall not be easily...
While saying that, Reen manages to use double team to be able to evade them completely.
Looks like he's picked up a few tricks from our fee.
The targets have broken our line of defense. Commencing pursuit.
I'm sorry about that, Your Highness.
I'm fine. Don't worry about me. But, can I hold on to you a little tighter?
Of course.
And Altina.
Targets in sight. Commencing capture. My suspicions outlining you as an indecent person seem to
Damn
be
it!
confirmed.
Damn it, Reen will now forever be known as a degenerate. Darn it. Ah well.
Not make me out to be some kind of pervert all the time, please.
I swear there was music for this bit. Ah, no. And Reen safely dispatches of Altina.
Target lost. I may have underestimated you, Reen Schwarzer, in more ways than one.
Anyways.
I'm so sorry, Your Highness. I didn't really have any choice but to do that. I realize that's no excuse.
I know you didn't, but she seemed even younger than me.
No, Reen, how could you?
That truly is indecent.
Oh,
Try
no.
not to pay any attention to what she says about me. There's the exit.
Don't change the subject.
Well, hilarity of that aside. We haven't seen certain people yet. I wonder where they could be. Yeah.
That's the Ashen Knight?
And in comes Book Burning Crow. We are fucked.
Crow. And...
Huh. So that's how it manifests for you.
You finally mastered that power you got, huh? Still, you're one busy guy, you know that? One minute you're down in the dumps, the next, you've got one of the cutest girls in the country cheering you on.
Man, if only that could happen to me.
Well, I can't deny it. But she wasn't
Being the lucky bastard.
It was my sister, classmates, even you, in a sense.
Come on.
Can't say I'm not curious to see what that power of yours can do, but I think you get priority here, right?
Yeah, let me have this one.
And so, Crow and Ween are going to fight.
Your Highness, if you don't mind.
Alright.
This is your first time fighting me without the mask on, I think. With our Divine Knights, I come out on top. But let's see who wins when it's just the two of us.
Sounds good to me. You managed to win against 3 of us at once in the catacombs below Heimdall. But it's just you and me now. And this time, I'll be the victor.
Go away. All right.
Let's move.
And so a one-on-one battle between Crow and Ween occurs. Okay, we get another turn after this. Okay, we really should have... So, Crow in this fight is level 80 with 96,640 health. Arts aren't really the best to be used on this, and status conditions aren't really going to do much. But this is a one-on-one between Ween and Crow. Ween probably isn't built to do anything other than hit him as hard as possible, as fast as possible. So, just do that. I don't know whether an Arcade Gale is better than a Flame Impact, but it might be somewhere between the two in terms of optimal. Though missing is bad because that means he gets to get hit. When something like this occurs, remember to use your tier bombs, your bombs of various tiers, because he'll have an S-craft. Trust me, he does.
Burn to ash.
Fall.
Damn it! Hit Ween, for fuck's sake! My RNG aside, fucking hell.
Let's move.
There we go, we get a hit in, finally.
Let's move.
Oh, he gets the quit. I'm gonna use another tier bomb because he'll get that hit. Oh, I should have used the siren capsule. I should have used the capsule. Still the quit. Because he gets the quit, so we take the damage.
Let's move.
You know what? I think. Oh, hang on. Oh, some capsules are down here.
Yeah.
Let's murder. Let's just murder Crow. At least I hope this is a murder. Ah, it's not.
Not bad.
And so he deadly crosses us. Okay, well, that was nice knowing life. Okay, we live.
My turn.
And just as an ultimate fuck you to Crow, we're just gonna do this again. Just as a fuck you to Crow, because I don't want him to spam Deadly Cross, I'm gonna spam a Sure Flame Slash. Right, we've wasted the animation, so I'll just do that just to speed things along a little bit there. Because this has gone on for 3 hours. My objective was to do this part of the game, and it took us a lot longer than I thought it would. I forgot exactly which aspect it is. We do get an item, a Blade 2 deck. We'll go into that at a later point. Because, for one, we won't actually be playing Blade yet. But, also, it's Blade 2, not Blade 1. And Wayne beats Crow on foot. Divine Knight-wise, Crow would probably still win.
I sure wasn't expecting you to beat me one-on-one.
You fought pretty well yourself. Couldn't have been easy to last as long as you did against me like this.
And Ween's power up, because he's not used to using it, power's down, unfortunately.
Why did this have to happen now?
Guess your luck ran out.
We finally caught up to you.
Well, aren't you, Mr. Popular?
But I think you may have been slightly too reckless.
Well, we tried. That's the best we can say about that.
That wasn't a bad fight. Even if you lost, at least you tried, I guess.
Your Highness, please move away from me.
Hey, don't be too rough with me. Look sharp.
And in with the rescue, it is the Courageous flying through the sky.
Crimson Wings?
In a valiant attempt to rescue Ween, in comes all of our allies. 4 people who all should have now broken their legs
Sorry for the wait, Reed.
are here to prevent them from attacking. Yay.
You caught us all off guard back in Ymir.
So this time we opted to take the initiative ourselves.
We meet again, severing chains. And I see you brought the purple lightning with you.
She brought more than that. Check out the Icy Maiden and that big shot arts user from the Bracer.
You guys are fighting all of them in Ymir.
We couldn't ask for a more impressive.
Ah.
Here it comes again.
Having come around, now off comes... Why, it's Victor Arseed! With his big fuck-off sword! Yay!
Your lordship.
Why did Dwayne sound like that? What? Is that just a glitch or something? Oh well, whatever. Victor Arseed! Yay!
And it relieves me to see you.
It's good to see him again.
Radiant Blade Master is here too?
Huh. Wow, you're strong. Very strong.
That's quite the nod coming from the blazing demon himself.
Why does everyone need nicknames? I miss when there was only a few people that had proper full-on nicknames.
And why some even claim you to be the Steel Maiden's equal.
Well, I know who I'm gonna be fighting.
Don't you go forgetting about us now.
Using the power of teleportation, in comes Class 7 and Prince Olafert with a gun. Ah, the next best thing to a steel chair.
Looks like we've landed in the middle of something pretty crazy.
And not a moment too soon.
You came!
Glad to see you're all right.
Now's not the time for that, Alvin. But also, so they are now here.
You certainly seem to have kept yourself busy. Enjoying your scandalous elopement with Green, are you?
Damn it, Olafert.
He gave me the time of my life.
Damn it, Alvin.
You guys were having that much fun, huh?
Ah, don't you start.
With our princess, Reem.
Ah, crap, all of them.
To think we were so worried about you.
You're not supposed to take it literally.
You are all bad at each other.
You threw me out of Valimar for? Doesn't look very
It feels like it's been ages since we last saw you.
You saw him in Nordine.
I'm hanging in there. Sure wasn't expecting all of you to show up, though. How are we even gonna settle this?
Burn, murder everyone. There we go, that solves that issue. Good thing he doesn't want to fight anyone half the time. How are they at equal strength? McBurn is there.
Oh, doesn't sound like much fun at all. I'd say we just forego the fighting and have ourselves a party instead.
Damn it, Oliver.
I could never turn down a party.
That sounds simply wonderful.
I'll bring the booze.
No one's taking this seriously. I'm with Duvalie here. No one's taking this as seriously as they need to be. We're all meant to be enemies here, for fuck's sake.
This is getting us nowhere.
Thankfully, Altino is on Duvalie's page here. And in comes Vita.
Who decided to show up?
Krianos. Welcome aboard the Pantagruel, Emma. Your overall ability as a witch might still be lacking, but that transportation spell was exceptional. I must apologize for the untimely intrusion. As displeased as a few of you might be by the idea, I think it best if we let one another peacefully go our separate ways this time.
Vita's idea is to call this a draw and for everyone to just go their separate ways.
The brunt of Duke Cayenne's anger.
Vita. Can't say I understand why we should.
The machinations of Vita's mind shall be gone into the enigmas that it is for now. Wait, I just realised she's wearing blue. She is literally a PS Vita.
Whatever. Gives me something to look forward to later.
Oh, we went over the 3 hour mark. Oh, that's great. This is going to take a bit to upload.
Okay. See you, Fee.
Next time we meet, it will be at Venice.
Yep, I know. Aww, I was kind of hoping we'd be able to talk some more. I expect we will have multiple opportunities to do so in the near future.
Oh, Tina, did you read ahead in the script?
Well, catch you later, Phantom Thief.
Or not. You do know that no one likes your stupid pranks, right?
Tut tut. There's no need to be so harsh. It's a shame we couldn't resume our debate on the nature of beauty this time, my most worthy rival.
I could wax eloquent about beauty till I'm old and gray, but honestly, I think it's about time we settle things between us.
Next time we meet, Radiant Blade Master and his daughter, it will be to battle.
Well, I certainly have no objection to that.
You seem to bear some manner of ill will against my household. I don't know your reasons, but should we be granted the opportunity, I would gladly settle things with you in battle.
Yes, well, let's not be too hasty. I can...
Duvalie, realising she's out of her element there.
Guess that wraps things up for now. You've definitely grown, but you've still got plenty of room for improvement, especially when it comes to piloting Valimar. So unless you're up for another beatdown, I suggest you get to work on fixing that.
Yeah, I know. And just to confirm, you were the one who told Toval where I was, right?
We didn't figure that out.
2 days ago, I got a call out of nowhere on my Arcus.
So they always knew where Reen was.
Now that you mention it, he does have the same voice as that mystery caller.
I should have known.
Sounded familiar. It must have been because I'd heard it during your concert at the festival.
Damn, looks like the jig is up.
You really did that?
Oh, Crow, there's no shame in admitting that you care, you know.
And if I might be so bold as to offer a word of advice,
Get Valimar a better sword, one like yours. If you think you're such hot stuff you can beat me without your 8 leaves training, you're in for a world of hurt.
Correct choice of armaments is indeed paramount. Selecting one the Awakener is well suited to will increase combat efficiency exponentially.
I can't pretend to know much about this kind of thing.
He's right. Eastern blades like my Tachi are the heart and soul of the 8 leaves, 1 blade styles. Alright, I'll take your advice. And when I've got myself one, I'll finally take everything back. The Academy, Elise, and even you, Crow.
If that's how you want it, I'd like to see you try.
So, our next objectives is to... Well, our next objective is obviously to get a better weapon for the next time we fight Crow. There will be a next time. The adults, they don't need teleportation. They'll just leap off the edge of the ship. Like idiots. Again, that feels like a very easy way to break one's legs.
Courageous, full speed ahead. Commence retreat from this airspace.
Yay, tower. Now, they could have easily just decided, if it wasn't for fear, they could have just gone, okay, well, while they're going, I'll fire the cannons. Boom. Oh no, the Courageous, everyone on it, no. So yes, our intermission aboard the Pantagruel has come to an end. Which actually is a good time to be able to save it. So then, next time. Because, let's face it, 3 hours, let's not get into Act 2 just yet. So, we're ending it here. For anyone on YouTube, comment, like, subscribe, share it. Do all of that if you want. Do it if you feel like it. I won't pressure you into it, but obviously I would prefer people to do so if they enjoy what I do. And of course, anyone that watches this on Twitch when it is streamed, keep this in mind, this is all VODs when I upload to YouTube. For anyone that does watch on Twitch, cool. If you want to see more of it, then obviously the only thing you can do to show some level of support is to follow and then proceed to keep watching. I can't promise there'll always be the same games that you happen to like because, well, I like to just play a myriad of different games that I have access to. Currently being uploaded, in fact, was published today, specifically is Mass Effect 2, which I will get around to doing more of. I just needed to take a bit of a break. And of course, carrying on with Cold Steel 2, which I started about a month ago. So, you know, and if you happen to miss them, then the VODs are usually around for however long Twitch keeps them up, and of course uploaded onto YouTube in the time being, if I happen to have anything to upload for the next day. So, now that I've done all the shilling of my various social media accounts of that I happen to make the videos / streams onto, until next time, I'll be seeing you all. Bye bye.